Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Bowl TV for continued coverage of the 2021 U.S. Open. This is B Squad hitting the lanes for their final 8-game block of qualifying. We apologize for the quick technical delay at the start here, but should be good to go from here on out. Technology. Ain't it grand? All right, everybody. We're coming to you live from the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. My name is Aaron Smith with USBC Communications. I'll be joined by the Bowl TV team in just a second. And we had scores, and lots of them, in the middle block today. A Squad putting up a number. Our overall tournament leader, Jacob Butcherov, just added on to his massive total already. He's now at plus, wait for it, plus 669. Next closest competitor, Matt Sanders, plus 512. So it's already 150 plus pins. Jacob is ahead on the field. Will anybody be able to catch him here from B Squad? Well, the good news is we're going to watch together and find out. Taking a look at the all-important cut number. Once again, after this block, we're going to go from the 108 competitors to 36. Current cut, plus 154. Anthony Nyer, who is bowling on this squad. The predictions have been anywhere from, they started slow. They started modest. It was the 130 to 150 range. And then it went up and up and up. And now we have some folks saying plus 195, plus 200. Could it be more? But with that excitement, we're watching Brent Boho, who's been just phenomenal this week, Christian Ascona, and Gary Faulkner Jr. But let's bring in the Bowl TV team, starting with Jason Thomas. We'll bring in JT.
Hello, Aaron Smith.
Hello, Jason Thomas.
This is it, man.
It really is, man. That's what we're all about here, folks. Getting down to that top 36. Let's kick it off next with Matt Cannizzaro. There he is. Matty, it's go time. It's cut time.
Let's go.
All right. Last but certainly not least, Inside Bowling's Mike Flanagan. Brought all the shenanigans yesterday, but bringing all the business today. Michael, it's great to have you back.
I appreciate you letting me anchor the team here, guys. So we get started a little bit late here because of a technical issue. The projectors on the pair right here with Brent Boho, who's high on this squad, have shot craps, and I come on the air with no audio because I didn't turn up my knob. We are on fire today, guys. We are on fire for this squad.
That's called an early three-bagger, which is what probably most of the field has already.
It is. So,
all right,
yeah.
With that.
Can Boho go 370 over this squad? I mean, that's the question to take the lead. Probably not.
And taking a look at the standings, we did have two players eclipse the plus 300 mark overall. Perry Crowell, the fourth, went 304 over. And then Zeke Bate danced his way into the top 10. 323 over for his 8 games to get to plus 320. You see what I did there with the dance part of it?
Aaron, it would have been better if you wouldn't have drawn attention to it. It was wonderful what you said, and I almost was like, man, that was a nice reference there, Aaron. But I'm like, you know what? It's going to sound a lot better if I just let it breathe, as if this guy does it all the time and it wasn't a one-off. But you screwed the whole thing up, dude.
I didn't let it breathe. But there's a great post on Facebook right now as well with Zeke and a shimmy. So be sure to check that out on his page.
Oh, wow. Okay, I will. Yeah, so this morning I called the broadcast with JT, and we were talking about, I think old Zach Weidman with that 279 the last game is going to make it in at plus 139. Solomon Salama, huge fill ball, 140 over, going to make it. And then I leave. For a block. And what did you guys do? You put out the house shot? Is that what you guys did?
I think they just learned from watching Bowl TV so closely throughout the day on how to attack them.
Well, I was telling him, don't let this 44-foot pattern fool you. Do not start inside. Play out, everybody. And I guess they listened.
Another person paying attention here in the early going is Nick Pate, front six. Live scoring is available, folks. If you're in the chat right now on BoldTV.com, you'll see a few different tabs above it. The one in the middle will take you to our results and information page on Bold.com. All the information we're using is at your fingertips.
Man, guys. I don't even know what to think of these scores. Tim Mactiscamp wrote down 212 on the sheet.
Highest it could go.
Oh, and now he says the highest it can go is 212 is going to be the cut number. That's the highest it can get to.
But strikes everyone.
Tim's like a conductor in an orchestra right now.
What's happening?
He is like strikes everywhere, and he's like moving his hands around up in the air like.
Well, talking about some folks who are in the clubhouse, we mentioned the cut heading in plus 154. We expect that to jump quite a bit. We have Brandon Novak plus 202, Dallas Leong and Brad Miller at plus 204 tied, Graham Fa plus 212, Darren Tang plus 213, Pontus Anderson plus 218, Chris Prather plus 222, and then Marshall Kent plus 230. They are in from 24th all the way down to 31st place. So how much will it shake up?
Yesterday, I set an over-under on last night's broadcast when I was getting jiggy with it, and I said, hey, over-under 300s tomorrow, 0.5. And everybody was hammering the over, and the scores have been astronomical today. We still haven't had a 300 game, though. We're not going to have one in game number one either.
That means Nick Pate missed in frame 8, which, according to live scoring, all true. But since we're talking about Nick Pate, let's bring in another Nick to the broadcast who could tell us a little bit something about this oil pattern, this 44-foot condition. Let's welcome in Mr. Nick Hoagland. Nick, hello.
Hey guys, what's going on?
We're just hanging out, watching some strikes. You know, after not watching a lot of strikes yesterday, this has been a quick reversal of fortune for these players.
Yeah, you know, it's after last year's U.S. Open, everyone still scarred from the day 3 37-foot flat pattern, and so this year when Rob Gottschall and I spoke about it, we decided to put that flat pattern in the middle this year and run that 40-footer, which is the same pattern that was run way back when I first ran it in 2003. And then decided to make this last pattern a little bit more scoreable so that you could get some guys that could make some runs at the number the last day instead of kind of holding on for dear life. And so to your point, Mike Flanagan, looks like the B squad or second squad today figured them out pretty quick because there's been some monster scores on both sides of the lane.
Now, Nick, as we and we talked about the fact that the flat pattern was kind of in the middle of the qualifying session instead of at the end of it like it was last year during the block. And although JT is not with us right now, I know he liked that because it allowed he felt like it allowed the players to kind of decide how aggressive they wanted to be, knowing they had a chance to potentially get some pins back on this 44-foot pattern.
Yeah, that's really a credit to Rob Gottschall in his new role as short duration manager, being on the tours for all those years. His feedback to me was, hey, we've run it the flat pattern in a various form the first day and the third day. Let's put it in the middle. And so that was really his recommendation, and I agree. So it's just a good collaborative effort on trying to change up the pace and giving these players, as you mentioned, sort of a thought about what strategy they're going to use. And I guarantee the strategy tonight is different than it was heading to the earlier squad because the scores are so much higher. And like Mike said, that number is going to be north of 140, right?
Oh, it's already north of 140. 154 coming into this block. So,
right. So now there's added pressure for these bowlers that sort of have to keep pace and get themselves in position for the next round tomorrow.
And as we look at live scoring, certainly no shortage of strikes. Francois Lavoie, chance for 279. Nathan Bohr, 280 max. Jake Rollins, 290 max. And most of these players have just the 9th or the 10th frame left to go. Jesse Gibson's going to be in the 270s already there. Brandon Biondo, 256. Sam Cooley in the 270s. Nick Pate can get to 279.
And what you're seeing here from a pattern design standpoint is this pattern. It's the same ratio as basically the first pattern. I don't have it up right now, but it's probably about
1.45 to 1, Nick. 1.45 to 1.
Right. And so last week the Masters pattern was what, 1.6 to 1? So on paper, the Masters pattern on paper was easier. And that just shows you how those ratios can fool you. The difference on this pattern is, first of all, it's longer, which those patterns tend to be a little higher scoring. But secondly, there's a really nice smooth taper. It's a very traditional taper from front to back, very predictable ball motion. And when you give the greatest bowlers in the world very predictable ball motion, they're gonna bowl well. Whereas the other two patterns, the design of them is not as, I'd call it, smooth from front to back. And you give them a little bit of an inch, and they're going to take advantage of it.
What's amazing to me, Nick, is, several years ago there was this thing that the USBC came out with called sport bowling, and
Right.
and it was all about the 2-to-1 ratio, I believe it was, and then they upped it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And then if you bowled 300, with in a sport league, and they had sport averages and all that. I'm not sure where all that is today. I don't know where that sits right now. I should, because I'm a historian of bowling, but I just don't know, and it really doesn't matter to my point. My point that I'm trying to make is if an average league bowler came out and bowled on this 1.45 to 1 ratio, they're going to be hard for an average league bowler no matter what. Any of us donks that just bowl league, we would come out here, and I believe we would have a hard time shooting 190 on this, if you're a 220 average league bowler. Why? Is it the Masters that has made these people so good? And it is the best bowlers in the world, don't get me wrong. But these scores, they're like bombs coming in. They're not even like,
Right.
I mean, it's or a missile. I mean, I cannot believe just how many strings of strikes are out here on a 1.45 to 1 ratio. And you explained it beautifully with the taper, but these are still not easy.
I'd also say, Mike, it's a great observation. So a couple of factors, and I'm not there, so I can't see it. But one, they were so hard last week that you give these guys, and this is the first time for most of these players they've seen swing juice the whole week, right? Because not everyone bowled great the first day of the open pattern, even though it was a little softer. You give them a little bit, and these pins now are in prime scoring condition. They're 2 weeks old.
Good
They've
point.
been beat up in the machines now for 2 weeks solid, right? And that is going to play a factor in it.
I didn't even think about the pins, Nick. That's a good point.
The pins are, again, in the bowling stadium, you guys are seeing it. It's not a great carrying bowling center. It never has been. But the pins are clearly bouncing around much better today than they were the first day of the Masters last week. You just see it.
I will second that from watching the second block today. Jacob Buttriff was throwing some pins around like nobody's business. A lot of messengers. So we started to see that hit connect, and that's been a hit that's been missing throughout the week too. Is you've seen that pin scouting across the deck. It hasn't connected. Today they were connecting,
and that's the difference between 2-0 and 230. A couple of those a game, all of a sudden your scores are up. So it's a big factor. Just to get back, and I know we don't get too technical on here, but there are some fans that enjoy it. The difference in the tapers. So the first day on that short pattern, we had more oil at the end of the pattern. So the machine slowed down, which is sort of unusual. The second day, that U.S. Open pattern really makes it hard. There's a significant taper from front to back, too much taper. there's a ton of oil in the front part of the lane, and there's barely 3 units of oil from, I'd call it 35 to 40 feet on the lane. And it's this huge direction change with bowling balls. You factor that in with a flat lane surface and the dead flat oil pattern, they're going to be hard. This pattern's very smooth taper, more like a WTBA or World Bowling pattern. Not as easy as those, but that real smooth shape. And if they can get lined in practice, only 3 on a pair, and you go to another fresh pair and you're lined in, you can bowl 550 for 2, and you're seeing that.
Got a question here in the chat from Roger. Wants to know, I'm wondering if the morning block encountered any pattern memory from yesterday. Do you think that could be possible at all, Nick?
It's a great question, and my answer is no to that. The Kegel machines are stripping the lanes clean every time. But I would say, to your point, Roger, last night we bowled on a 40-foot pattern, and today we're bowling on a 44-foot pattern. So the pattern distance that got erased last night was shorter than today's. But I seem to put more stock into what someone said earlier today, is that these guys are watching this broadcast, and they're watching it. They're seeing what's working, what's not working, and they're getting smarter every time they come in. I'd like to run a statistical analysis just to see each day, did the scoring pace get better on the pattern? Whatever pattern it would be. I haven't done that yet, but that would be interesting to know.
Aaron Smith, it looks like we're going into game number 2 here, man. That was a quick game.
That was a lot of strikes.
Didn't the last squad only take 3 hours to bowl?
It was right around. That's we have about an extra half hour when we signed off, because usually it's been about 90 minutes heading into the next squad up, and we had a full 2 hours. So the less amount of shots seemed to help along the way.
Hey, Nick, what are people going to be in store for tomorrow morning when we fire up Bowl TV and everybody's watching and we're on pattern number 4, and that's going to take us home. That's going to take us all the way through the TV show. Are we going to see day 1 type scoring, day 2 type scoring, or scoring like we're seeing today?
Great question, Mike. I think you're going to see, if I could bet, you're going to see more towards day 1 scoring. That pattern does not have the smooth taper. The machine slows down at the end, so it's got a little bit of a ramp. And it gets tricky after you bowl it. I think you can see some good scores out of the gate the first couple of games, but that pattern tends to get a little tricky as you bowl on it more. So what I'm really interested in seeing is how many left-handers make the cut today. The more left-handers that make the cut in this round, the worse the lanes will be tomorrow for them in the catcher's round, because they'll have more traffic on the side. That makes sense to you.
Yeah, certainly does. Nick, if you had to look into your crystal ball before you put these patterns out, the scoring that we're seeing today, are the scores right where you thought they would be? Or
No,
are
they're
they higher?
They're higher. Absolutely higher. Yep. The first 2 days, Mike, they scored kind of where I thought they would. I thought this pattern would score slightly higher than the first days, but not the bombs that we're seeing today.
It's funny. It's funny when you design a lane pattern. It's an educated guess, and it's a really good educated guess.
Mike, I had Len Nicholson told me once, like, designing oil pattern is playing blackjack at a casino. And I don't gamble much, but I think he said if you have a 5 or if you have 15 and the dealer's got 6 on the deck, do you take the extra card, take the hit, and like you're just designing this in your mind, like, okay, do I add a fluke here? Do I reduce some volume here? It's a balance of art and science. we talked last week. The Masters pattern was harder than I thought it would play, right? And this pattern's playing easier than I thought. And you're trying to make a guess. I'm not concerned at all about the pace. What I'm more concerned about is making sure that all the competitors have an equal chance to win, and that's both from lefty, righty, but also to straight and kind of hook players. That's really the most important thing, more than the pace.
Nick, I got one more question for you, then I'm going to turn it over to the boys because I got a little bit of stuff I got to do here inside the stadium. And Jason Thomas is going to join us back as well, and I know he enjoys picking your brain. But just one quick one for you. Will we see a 300 game tonight? If I set the over-under at a half, would you take over or under?
I'd take over tonight. Yeah. I can just tell, guys, by I know Danielle plaqued 10 there, but the pin carry's only getting better. It's not going to get any worse.
Well, we haven't had one yet. I set the over-under last night at a half for the entire day today. I can't believe we haven't had one.
Hey, Mike, and isn't that fickle about bowling? So last week, the lanes were really hard. We had a couple 300s last week, or just one? I kind of forget.
There were at least two.
At least two.
Well, right? I thought it was one.
Oh.
In the Masters, Daniel Coffey, but then in the PTQ, we had Zach Tackett.
No, we had one in match play. Matthew Zweig.
Oh, you're right. We did have Matthew Zweig. That's right. I got that one too. All three on camera, by the way, so I get to keep my job.
So just shows you how fickle bowling is. You had a pattern that was harder than any of these three patterns. Last week, 300 games. And today, right now, I mean, there's guys averaging, 250 and not 300. Isn't that kind of odd?
It is. Welcome to bowling. I'm going to leave.
Before you go, I do want to comment one last thing, answer your question. I didn't answer before, your sport bowling question.
Yeah.
So you're correct. It was 2-1, and now it's 4-1 is the ratio. But the real analysis I'll give you, because I know you love history, is in 2001 when the new PBA back then started up, we used sport bowling. And I was doing the lanes, and we bowled on some really tough patterns. This is 20 years ago, 1.5 to 1. And the scores were not very good on TV first 3 weeks. Then we decided to make them a little easier in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I made them 2-1 instead of 1.5 to 1, something easier. And that's the show that Pete Weber bowled 299 on. And the scores were so much higher that week because guys had some swing juice. They felt more comfortable.
Well, thanks, Nick. I'll be back to join you. Back to the boys here with you.
Thanks, Mike. Nick, in talking about looking ahead to tomorrow's pattern, and you asked about how many left-handers. At the moment, there are 6 left-handers who are plus 200 or better in the field. So, and potentially a few more could certainly make it into that. So, for the 36 players, we have a 6th of them potentially going to be left-handed, and could add on a few more when we look at that traffic from the southpaw side.
Yeah, I think they're in good position. It's kind of like last week. The stadium it seems to render that ball coming off the corner much better on the left side. It just is what it is. But I would note, in the standings, at least after last squad, you have Jacob, who's bowling phenomenal, who's led this tournament by a mile a couple of times, throwing predominantly urethane. Matt Sanders, who's a totally different game left-handed, not throwing urethane all the time. And then your next lefty, I believe, is down to 17. So you're not seeing the top 5 bowlers are left-handed. You see a couple of guys really bowling well. And kudos to them. They're praying that less left-handers make the cut. They want to bowl fresh as long as they can.
Very interesting.
So the pattern that you're going to bowl on tomorrow and the rest of the week is a mirror image of a 2016 US Open pattern we used at South Point. Ironically enough, on that show, no lefties made that show that week. They bowled okay, but I think the high lefty might have been 7th or 8th. I'd have to check a little lower. So, interested to see how their look is here versus the South Point. when they bowl on it tomorrow. I didn't really get a great look in practice because not that many guys bowled. So you'll guys are going to probably a better look at it tonight when there's another practice session.
Taking a look at the 2016 stats. After match play, it looked like Rhino Page was the high left-hander in 19th place after
19th.
But 6 and 18 in match play, though, so it wasn't picking up a lot of the bonus pins available there.
Right. And so there's a little lower than I thought. So, it'll be interesting to see if you got a couple lefties like Jacob and Matt Sanders or Matt Russo or someone who's bowling tonight. Do they have a lead going into tomorrow? And then, how good is the left going to be tomorrow for the rest of the tournament?
All right, folks, we're being joined by Nick Hoagland, who helped develops the oil patterns for USBC short and long duration events, as well as the PWBA Tour. And we're going to bring JT back into the broadcast as well. There he is. Hey, JT.
Hello.
Hello.
Boy, do I have some questions for Nick?
Fire away.
Well, first off, hello, Nick. Hope you're doing
Hey, Jay,
well.
I just wanted to, I'm great. I enjoyed your romper room reference earlier today, so well done.
Yeah, I was going to bring that back up again. I know you're a huge fan of the Masters, as am I, the golf tournament, and I was really kind of happy to see this pattern today, and I thought, this is a perfect 13th hole and 15th hole type pattern at Augusta National, right? The risk reward. Do I go for it in 2 and risk hitting it in the pond? But it feels like right now the pond is drained, and there's really no risk.
Well, the wind's down. We had
the wind's down.
Had some rain in the morning. And it's moving day at the Masters, so we put the pins in the easier spots. So
yes.
We're encouraging the scores.
Yes. Now, I talked to a few of the ball reps, and it's just like, hey, it feels like they're hitting them harder as the day goes on. And basically what they've told me to a person is pretty much, hey, if you're going to let these players throw reactive from out and never have to move left all day, they are going to whack them. But early in the morning, we saw a few folks throwing urethane, which may have made them a little trickier. Last block, I don't think we saw any urethane other than Jacob Buttriff, who just shoots 300 over anytime there's any little bit
matter.
of yeah.
Right.
But do you feel like because the players now are understand that they can just throw reactive the whole block and never have to move left, that they're going to really hit them hard?
Yeah, absolutely. They have now the maximum firepower of their arsenal too. From a ball motion and the pin carry perspective. So with only bowling 3 on a pair and only technically, not bowling 8 games on a pair because of the COVID protocols. If you have just a hint of a look, you kind of burn that spot up, you're going to hit it. And with the ultimate carry angle sort of playing out there near, 5-6 for the shimmy pattern, these are the best bowlers in the world. They are going to strike, and that's great. I mean, I know the next question at some point will be, does the scoring pace upset you? The scoring pace never upsets me. What upsets me is making comments that would suggest that a higher scoring pace is not a U.S. Open. We just want the best bowler to win, regardless of the pace.
Yeah, I remember, when Robert Smith won, it was a gutter shot. You played the gutter, and it was hard, but people also seem to forget that the U.S. Open wasn't always known as the hard tournament. So there were years when it took 230 to make the show at the U.S. Open, and it still produced pretty good champions. If I remember, a guy named Pete Weber might have won that year.
Right.
So there aren't any flukes making the show just because the scores are high one day.
Yeah, you're exactly right, T. And you have to remember back in, I'd call it before, I'd say up until 2001, the tournament was bowled on a burn, and now we call double burn. And so, the lanes you couldn't run the flat pattern and bowl 3 squads on a flat pattern. It just wouldn't work, right? Because you just run real estate. So the tournament kind of changed in 2003 at Fountain Bowl, by the way, Jason, for SoCal fans. That's when the PBA went to this fresh, burn, fresh concept, which gave the players 2 squads on fresh and 1 on burn. And that's when we decided to run the flat pattern because we knew the lane could hold up for 2 squads. This is 20 years ago with the technology, but not 3. And so that was the real change. And that flat pattern I ran until I left the PBA in 2006. And there's been some variations of that pattern run pretty much every year since then. Until we got to 2015, where we bowled again with no recoil in Garland. And the pattern that we chose then was the one that we're going to use tomorrow, that template, that kind of long gutter shot, just because it keeps players outside more than inside.
All right, folks, we made the switch to 51 and 52. Sam Cooley, after 279 in game number 1, has delivered 9 consecutive strikes. So you know what that means. We're ready for number 10. Sam up on 52. Oh, JT, why are we so bad at this?
We're the worst.
Oh.
Looking it up and seeing, I don't know if it's a touch fast, maybe,
Here's the real problem, and we're going to bring Mike back in to tell us why he did this. Michael, what'd you do?
We got 6 more games, guys. There could possibly be a 300. I literally have filmed 1 frame this block so far since we got started a little late, and it was at 24810 right there. So go ahead, mark me down for 24810 to start my block.
Packy had the front 8 that game as well before missing in the 9th.
Yeah, I did. I didn't record that one, but I will tell you that Nick Pate, when I walked down there, he goes, "You want me to record this for you since you're the Black Cloud?" I said, "No, I got it." And then Packy walked by and goes, "Black Cloud," and then boom, right there. I'm thinking this is real, guys. I'm actually thinking this is real.
Like JT and guys, who's winning the fantasy draft right now?
Yeah, we're not talking about that anymore, Nick.
That's why I brought it up.
Are you kidding? That's all JT talked about last block.
I didn't watch.
He's kicking butt.
JT, do you have Barnes?
I do, yes.
Yeah, what a block he pulled today. And did he throw reactive today, I'm assuming?
He did, yes.
And he'll be able to throw. I'm sure he's going to throw reactive tomorrow. So yeah, I think that's a solid pick right there. He could hunt down that show, I think, in his sleep if he bowls well. Look at that ball come off the corner. I mean, you've not seen the ball come off the corner on the right side like that at the Masters or in the first 2 days on this down with reactive. So you can just see the guys playing right with the surface, with the reactive, burning that perfectly kind of smooth taper out, and they're just sawing on it.
Packy did finish with 268 that game. Rough start, so he's at 431 for his 2. Sam Cooley at 543. Big number. Nick Pate making the turn at 501. Nathan Bohr going to be plus 90 after 2. Get your strikes here. Get your strikes.
What's the projected number of the cut you guys think it's going to be today?
It's been Tim Mack has been providing updates throughout the course. I believe after a relatively modest start, and after game 1, actually, it's already up to plus 190.
Wow.
So that didn't take very long, but Nick was very adamant about a. Do we still have it here, JT? The 195? There it is. 195 at first, but I think it's going to go up just a skosh here, perhaps. But one of the guys who had a big day and now waiting to see what the number was, he actually thought it might not be enough, is Chris Prather. And I believe we have something queued up with Mr. Prather from last block to check out. JT, are we doing the 4-9 or the interview? Or both?
Yeah, let's do both. Why not?
All right, we will start with a 4-9 conversion from Chris Prather. Plus 622 now the number for Jacob Buttriff.
Yeah, that's a big number. And we said maybe he could get to 700 if he kept going at the pace he was, and that's still certainly within the realm of possibilities. Prather with the 4-9 there in the second. He's already made it once today. Can he do it again? I'm going to say yes. In fact, I'm so confident that he's going to make it, Aaron Smith, that I'd be willing to bet my winnings in the fantasy draft.
Well, that's just unfair, JT.
When you're on, baby. What can I say?
Folks, that's called crafty editing. That's all that is. Let's go to the Prather interview. Finish for Graham Fosso. He got to 212 over. He knows he needed it. Knew how big that was. Humongous 9th, 10th, and 11th right there for Dallas. One more strike right here, and he'll finish at plus 205, which also puts him ahead of two players who are already in the books, Brad Miller and Brandon Novak at plus 204 and plus 202. We have Chris Prather ready to join us in just a moment, folks. We'll bring him on here after Dallas's final shot. That'll put him at a tie at plus 204. Overall with Brad Miller. All right, with that, let's bring in JT's favorite individual right now, I believe. Chris Prather.
What's going on, guys?
What's
Chris,
up, man?
It's great to see you. Fantastic performance today. With the way the scores have jumped up, starting the day in the minus 50 range. Just talk about what you did out there to put yourself in position to make this cut.
I personally think I'm going to be about 10 short, but I had a little heart-to-heart with myself last night and told myself I was being very stubborn on how I was playing the lanes and trying to do what I'm best at, which is playing left. And with Mr. Hoagland pulling the lanes and coming up with the patterns, he doesn't really like it whenever people play left. So I really committed to playing straight and just balling down, and honestly kind of playing him like a left-hander would. Keeping the ball in front of me and controlling the pocket. And fortunately, I bowled significantly better today than I did the last couple of days. You guys get to see me without my glasses.
So I think you're probably safe. I mean, if you want to hang out and do some therapy in the booth and call this next round, you can. But assuming you get in tomorrow, how do you feel your chances are, with the pattern for tomorrow, and how well you bowled today?
Well, I actually didn't practice on it on practice days, so I don't really know. I think the game plan stays the same, playing straight and just controlling the pocket. I know I'm going to need a big number tomorrow as well if I'm going to try to get to the top 24. But, we'll see. I might take you up on the call in the next round just so that be around just in case there's like a roll-off or something. But, today was way, way better than the last 2 days. Honestly, when I talked to you guys at the Masters, I've bowled horrendous since then. So I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing.
All right, folks, that was Chris Prather after he finished up a monster block here earlier today on this 44-foot pattern. Going from minus 55 all the way up to plus 222. 277 over for the day. For game 3, we'll take a look here at Michael Tang, Carlos Granados, and defending champion Jason Belmonte. Belmo at plus 267, Mikey Tang at plus 80, Carlos minus 119.
Nick, Chris Prather coming at you off the top rope.
I couldn't hear the interview. So what did he say?
Well, he said, the first 2 days he didn't bowl very well, and he said, it feels like Nick Hoagland wants it so that you don't have to get left, and I didn't listen to that, and I paid the price the first 2 days, and so today I just told myself I'm going to stay to the right and play a little straighter, and whacked him.
Yeah, no, it's a great comment. Not true, but could certainly see how you feel that way this week because the short pattern is always going to play out. Yesterday was kind of in between, and I thought guys would be further in today, frankly, but they're not. They're going to bowl where they have ball reaction, and so if it's out, and because we're only bowling literally 4 games on a pair, you'll probably stay further out this tournament than years past. I'm confident Chris can strike on anything, though.
Me too. That's why I picked him for my fantasy team.
Yeah. Hey guys, what was obviously there last week? What was the feedback on the red oil on the TV show from the players bowling, and what you heard or saw in the social space?
What I've seen on social was that it looked cool. A lot of people thanking whoever was in charge of it, because they liked seeing it. And some folks said it was easier to see than obviously clear oil, but blue oil as well. So I think the feedback's been pretty good.
We did ask Chris Vi, who made the show at the Masters. He was throwing one of those nice new bright green high roads. And I asked him if it made it look like like Christmas, but he said it was more ended up tracking a little more brown-like on the ball, so it wasn't quite as Christmassy as we would have hoped with as red as they were, but it was definitely cool to see.
Yeah, I think the team at Kegel really worked hard on that product, and it looked great. And I think how the machine lays it on the lane, you can really see that pattern structure on the lane pretty clearly. So it was really cool to see on the lane. And kudos to them for developing that technology. Is Belmo throwing her pain, guys? can't quite tell.
I think JT is trying to take a closer look.
That ball motion didn't look like urethane. So.
So, Nick, after watching this action the last 2 rounds and watching some of the players here this evening, who do you feel like has the best opportunity out of these players to continue the scoring pace and put up a really big block?
Are you talking on this pair? Or just in the squad?
Just thinking on the squad in general. I mean, obviously, Sam Cooley's out to a huge start with, 540 is his first 2. But do you feel like he might be a player that would run into more transition than maybe somebody like Francois Lavoie, who's going up the lane a little bit?
Yeah, I'd say Frenchie's my pick only because you hit it, Jason. Sam is going to go a little bit more left to right. I still think he's going to bowl well. But if Francois can stay right and straighter his A game longer, because we're only bowling 4 games on a pair, then I think you can see him have the bigger block. That'd be my thought. There's been some really good conversations I've seen on social about the volumes. We're not bowling as many games, so why are the volumes still kind of high? And you really got to think of it from a lefty-righty transition perspective. So if you're a lefty on the squad, there's a chance that you may not hit another pair with left-handers on. And so if the volume's lower, the left side will continually stay stable, and the right side would change even more. So if there was a lower volume pattern on the right side of the lane, all that does is allow for what I call the choose your own adventure method of bowling, which is that on the right side, you'd see players probably playing further in, further out, and their lanes from pair to pair would be so different transition-wise. I think it would be very hard for them to keep up the lefties who would not face that transition. So by having the higher volumes, we're trying to minimize the transition on the right side to keep the scoring pace level, if that makes sense. But that's the reason for the higher volumes.
Hey, Nick, I got an answer to your question. I'm not sure if you got it answered earlier. Belmo is using a phase 2.
Okay. Thank you.
And Sean Ryan's spending a lot of time with them right now. Belmo's not loving his ball reaction.
Yeah, it doesn't, it's really interesting is this pattern today, because the guys have stayed right. It's, frankly, close to what they're going to see tomorrow. The other pattern tomorrow is shorter. It's harder. There's more oil down lane. And that sort of template, Belmo hasn't had the greatest success in. We run this template as the 4th pattern. He never made a show with bowling, 32 of the 56 games on that 4 pattern template. When he won last year, that long gutter shot was used in the qualifying. And so over the years, I don't think this kind of long gutter shot is his favorite look.
Also, just a report here from the ground, no 300s in game number 3. No 300s this game.
Chase at 800.
800, yeah.
Yep. Right on cue.
What's he need, 255?
He made the turn at 543, so any type of mark here.
Yeah. Please do not black cloud this.
Sam Cooley going for 800.
Got it. Bang. Get him a ring.
Hey, Mike Flanagan, quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember the other night when we picked teams for this event?
Yeah.
Do you remember who I picked with my final selection?
I've forgotten everything about that game so far.
I think it might have been Sam Cooley.
Is he beating Jillian Martin?
I'm afraid so.
I thought she gave I only watched her bowl a little bit the first day, but she gave a great interview to you guys about, her success on the women's tour, and then bowling with, I think she called it, bowling with the guys, a transition difference, and she noticed it compared to the women's tour. And, frankly, this is half the transition you normally would see because we're only bowling half the amount of games on a pair. So it's a great learning experience for her to see, how this works.
Nick, did you catch any of the vlogs that I posted?
I did. I caught a couple. I caught the first one you did, and I caught the first day. I think the urethane or no urethane. Yeah, so I caught a couple of those, Michael. So well done, and it's fun for me to listen to players' reaction. One thing that's different about doing lanes now versus when I was on the tour is I had a rapport with the players. It could be bad rapport, but at least I had some rapport. And, not being on site anymore, I've never had a conversation with Chris Prather. Or actually, I've never even spoken to Jason Belmonte, if you can believe that, ever. So I'm just never on site. So the only way I get true feedback is, through your guys' interviews and blogs and the comments that, they make to you.
Yeah, the first day, the practice day, that was probably the funniest one because you've got, guys saying urethane's in play, and then the very next guy I pop on there and says, this is the first time I've ever seen urethane not in play.
That's officially 821 in the books.
That's a big number.
Sam Cooley, 821 out of the gate.
Nick Pate's going to be in the 760s here as well.
Again, like we said at the top of the show here, Rob and I spoke about having this day be a moving day, and I think we checked that box today.
Boy, yeah, that's an understatement. Stu Williams bowls 217. He's hovering around the cut number here. He's trying, if he keeps this pace up, he'll be right there. Now, Tim Mack has come by the booth and written something down on a piece of paper for me. The new cut number is going to be plus 258.
Oh, wow.
Soft, he says.
Soft.
Confirm it. That's what he says. Confirm it. That's what he says right here.
I'll talk about it if you want.
Yeah,
Well,
come on over.
Tell
Tim's
Tim
going to join us.
He's only good. He's only changed it 5 times, so the 6th time's got to
Yeah,
be right.
yeah. Aaron, you want to pot him up?
Sure. Tim Mack, everybody. Tim Mack. Hello, Tim.
Hey guys,
Timmy.
the scores are massive. And I can tell you right now, if I look at the board and I count right now, there's 12 people that are going to shoot 50 over or better these last couple of games. For sure they're going to shoot 50 over or better. So if you count 12 from 24th place, which is 258 over, that will be your cut number. A tie at 258 with, I think it's Arturo Quintero, and AJ Chapman's in trouble at plus 250. And I never thought that was even a possibility, but he's in trouble at plus 250.
It's Richie Teese and Arturo Quintero tied at plus 258.
So the night might get a little bit longer because there could be a roll-off. That is my prediction right now after Game 3. Sam Cooley just bowled 800 with an open in the 10th. There's a lot of strikes out there. But listen, guys, they've been bowled after coming off of yesterday's 40-foot flat pattern. What's going to happen? They're going to strike. So let's see if they can continue the onslaught. But that's
Timmy,
my guess.
Why do you think? Why do you think this squad and the previous squad is really hitting them compared to the morning squad?
Well, I think they watched what the morning squad did. They watched guys like Chris Barnes and Martin Larson, and the guys that really got them. They stayed to the right and they broke the lanes down. The squad in general broke the lanes down. Bowl TV's done a good job at helping the scores get higher because people are tuning in to watch you guys. So they've done a fantastic job. Well done, Bowl TV.
And Timmy, you didn't hear this earlier. You weren't on, but the guys asked me about did I expect the scores to be this high today? And I said no, but after last year's sort of day 3 massacre at Lincoln, the conversation was, hey, let's what if the third day became a moving day? And so that's what we're seeing today. I think the pace is a little higher than I expected, but entertaining to watch.
It certainly is. Listen, you're talking about some of the best bowlers in the world. You put them on this lane condition after the first 2 days, and job done. I mean, yesterday's lane condition is also moving day, but it's moving day in a different way. You take a guy like AJ Johnson, who bowled himself right into the number yesterday because he bowled 147 over. So there's a couple of ways to look at it, and I just think when the field sees what's going on, they're smart, they're intelligent, and you got to. There's a couple of ball reps actually out there that are pretty smart too. Not me, but the other guys are smart. I can tell you that. You get information and you get it to these guys and girls as well. Listen, Danielle McEwen's right there with them. And I believe she made the top 24 last year in Nebraska as well. And she's going to make a run at it again. So it's a challenge. I mean, you're testing the skill level, the mental capacity of the entire tournament, of the players' entire repertoire for the entire tournament. Yesterday was a different mental test. Listen, today's another mental test. Can the guys handle it if they go ring 10, 4-pin, strike, 4-9, 7-10, and then can they save the game? So, listen, it's just a test. It's just a different type of test, and the men and ladies that are willing to embrace that test, they're going to have the most success.
All right, Tim. We appreciate the insight here. 258. We're gonna circle. We're gonna write it down. We're going to put some exclamation points across it. We're looking forward to it, though. We'll let you get back to work and start coaching the best bowlers in the world.
Should be fun. Tell Nick Hoagland I'm still mad at him for getting 6 at Hindle Lanes when he cost me the pot. I struck out for 279. It's about 2008, and all he had to do was hit the head pin, hit the one in the front. Cost me like $800. Thanks, Nick. Love you. See you guys.
True story.
There we go, folks. All right. Well, sounds like we're still finishing things up over there on our featured pairs. Haven't got the announcement yet.
Yeah, so let's break this down, and they are now switching here in real time right now. So he's saying 250, 258 is going to be a tie for the number. That's what he's predicting.
25. So that means 11 bowlers got to bowl in.
Yeah, he thinks 11 are going to bowl their way in. So I would assume he's thinking Brad Miller, Brandon Novak. That's 2. No, not Brad Miller, Brandon Novak. Sorry, I'm the wrong squad. Sean Lavery Spar, Nathan Bohr, Danielle McEwen is a plus 189. Spencer Robars, Brian Robinson, Tim Foy. So there's a slew of them all right there, 39 through 44th. So he thinks those 6 are going to jump in.
And Stu is hovering.
Yep. So that's 7. Packy would be 8. Osku would be 9. So if those 9 make it, right, that would give us 27th position.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know, that's Sam Cooley's in 27th. So he thinks who's below Osku here? I'm looking. So he's thinking that Michael Tang and Carl Walgren also can get there. They're going to go 200 over the last 5 games.
Could be.
The best part is we get to see it live on Bowl TV, folks. That's right. Let's go.
I'll tell you what, his comment, though, is right about the pressure being different. Because right now, Mike, you know, all the reps and all the bowlers are doing exactly what you just did, right? And the first time someone goes 4-pin, ring 10, pocket 7-10, it's no longer, okay, be patient. I got a lot of games left. It's now I got to make a move. And that's a completely different mindset than yesterday, where if that happened to you, you'd probably just stay there and grind it out, but not right now.
And that was something Francois Lavoie told us when we talked to him after his block yesterday, is that, you know, we saw the players make the jump left. And, you know, in that first block, it looked pretty good. It didn't look as good for the players moving forward, but Francois was one of them who stayed out. And, you know, he essentially said, okay, I know I'm probably not, my strike percentage is not going to be high doing this, but I can keep it in play. I can make my spares. And he shot 20190. He found 1 double, I think, in those final 2 games. But he knew that's what the pace told him to do and what he felt most comfortable. And he didn't want to put 140, 150 into play. So he did that. He grinded. He stayed right with urethane, made shots, filled his frames, took even for the final 2. But, yeah, it's so interesting how it's the same but different in this scenario.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, there's a certain segment of the population I think wants to see that flat pattern 3 distances and have it be an absolute grind. And I don't think that's the best test. I think the mental test of having to switch in your mind, excuse me, what the scoring pace is each day is more grueling, because you have to balance all of these things when you're trying to get through this 24 games of qualifying.
After that big 821, we'll continue watching Sam Cooley here. He's joined by Nick Pate and Brand. Nick Pate at plus 355, Sam plus 323, and you know, those are all of a sudden those are the hits that you almost have to look out for. And you know, we saw Chris Prather leave one of those and make a ball change and make a move pretty much right after that. A little bit earlier today when he was making his run. I still can't get over 258.
Yeah, I'm actually working on an exercise here, guys, to try to really hone this in and make sure this is even feasible here, because I just don't see it. I don't see it getting that high. So I gotta do some handwriting here, and I'm gonna paint it for you guys. But I'm gonna wait for the next scoring game update to give it to you.
I'll be sure to let you know when that pops up.
In the meanwhile, I would love everyone in the chat to type in what they think the cut score is going to be. I'd love to know what you think the cut score is going to be.
We'll bring in JT real quick to the show to add on to the conversation. His thoughts on this new big number. So, JT, welcome back, and we'll go back to full screen. 258. What do you think about that?
I was shocked to hear it, but then I looked at the board and I said, yeah, it's possible. The thing that's striking me right now, we've been watching a lot of very difficult bowling for, many days now, starting with the Masters and now here at the US Open. The thing that's striking me as different tonight, and I really didn't even notice this the first two blocks today, is how hard the guys' balls are hitting.
Mm-hmm.
They're just hitting so hard. There's messengers. There's huge pins flying around all over the place. It's just like all of a sudden, it's like the gate to the door of the Kraken's cage was unleashed, and now the monster is out, chewing up everything. It's just crazy to watch Belmo's balls hitting so hard. He's throwing messengers all over the place. Michael Tang, his ball's hitting like a freight train. Sam Cooley, the pins look like they weigh about an ounce each when his ball hits the pins right now. It's just sick. He's just throwing wood all over the place. And, then when he hits flush, the pins just yield and just fall straight back. It's almost like they're putting up no resistance.
And JT, you're seeing, again, to me, that's a combination of A, the pins being broken in at premium levels right now, but B, the outside angle, which is encouraging the reactive resin balls, the strong balls, and a very smooth, perfect tape. The skid, roll hook, or skid hook roll, depending on your philosophy, into the pocket, the ball storing up energy properly, and the pins just going, they're no match.
Yeah, and I'll use another analogy, and I've been throwing a lot of golf analogies out there, but if you watch pro golfers warm up, they always start very slow and very tentative, and then when they start to get loose and they've got a good idea of where the ball's going, they start to swing hard at it, and then the ball goes a mile. And I think the pros on tour out here do that as well. And what's funny is they've had to be tentative for the last 12 days, and they couldn't really let it loose. But right now, they know exactly what the ball's going to do, exactly when it's going to hook, exactly where it's going to hook, and they can just let it all out and be aggressive. And it feels like that's what's happening right now.
I'll circle back to the score base today. It's high. You're seeing though lefties and righties both bombing, right? We saw some big numbers out of both sides. This goes back to the volume discussion again. I'll say it one more time. If this volume is times less, if it was somewhere in the mid 20s, or if we were not using ice oil, if we were using maybe an oil that had more friction, you wouldn't see Sam Cooley standing where he's at and keeping up with the left-handers that haven't had as much traffic on their side. That volume is allowing him to stay where he's at, and he may look at the 8-game U.S. Open record on this squad.
He's got to pop at 11:20 right now.
On a 1.5 to 1 pattern.
Wow.
Well, guys, we have a score update after 3. The new number, plus 213. Plus 213, Darren Tang, who is already in the books with, Danielle McEwen at plus 204, Packy, plus 195, Tim Foy, Brian Robinson, Spencer Robarge. Spencer's a little bit farther back, plus 142, but those are the next couple players up. Stu at plus 141. Michael Teng plus 137.
I struck on this squad after 3 is Chris Vai, only 6'12" for the first 3. Now down to 28th place.
What's that feeling like when you see the scoring pace and you're the only one not striking?
It's called every day for me now.
As Sam effortlessly makes it 7 in a row here. But, I mean, that's, we talked about the shot making the pressure of yesterday, and all of a sudden the pressure to see your ball strike is haunting you. Obviously, the good thing is the way things have progressed, you can get it back. But, and 180 is like 140 yesterday.
There's another thought here is, each professional or amateur has a preference on which of the squads they want to bowl. I'd say that over the 20-some years that I've been involved with professional bowling, the majority of the pros like the C squad first day. They like to see how the lanes transition. They always think the B squad gets in too quick. I think today that is a disadvantage because they finished first. And I'm sure there's a lot of those guys, and including on this one, guys, we thought that 140 number was in, and they're going to be off by 100 today. And so there's something to be said about, these guys got the bowl last today. They know what the number is trending to, and they're maybe bowling a little bit more aggressively than the earlier squad was.
Well, looks like 300 watch 2021 for pattern number 3 belongs exclusively to Sam now. We had a couple players with 6 in a row who did not strike.
Okay, guys, do you want to do a deep dive into this cut score?
Wow. Absolutely. Sam Cooley, front 8.
Well, I might have to leave. No, well, is that the only string we got?
That is correct.
I've been deep diving into this cut score. I mean, deep diving here. So after last game, Nathan Bohr and Sean Lavery Spar were outside of the top 36 from this squad, and they jumped in. Okay. Next up to jump in the numbers, Danielle McEwen at plus 204. Do we believe that Danielle McEwen will get to 250 over from a probability standpoint with 5 to play?
She already is. She's through the front 7 this game.
Okay, so we're going to assume she's going to make it in. Okay. The next player up is Packy Hanrahan is at plus 195. Do we believe Packy Hanrahan is going to get to 250?
He slowed down a little bit this game, but he went really big in games 2 and 3.
So are we going to say he's going to be in?
Sure.
With the probability?
Yes.
Okay.
I normally don't do this, Mike, but because of the urgency, Sam Cooley's about to go up here in the 9th on.
All right.
It's going to go ahead and tell you to get down.
Okay.
Excellent delegation skills there, JT.
Yes, non-spoiler, spoiler.
Sam Cooley, front 9 here after 8:21 in the first 3.
Oh. So Nick Payne's gone 7-10, stone 9, lower 7 on that right lane.
This is like Eugene McCune cheetah stuff right here. Watching.
Let's go, Rocket.
Yeah,
That's my guy right there.
I was there for that, man. That was something else. That was just unbelievable. He needed 170 the last game to break the 9-game record. It was just sick.
Was that at the South Point Bowling Center?
It was, yes.
They hook off the corner real nice there.
Yeah, they were, and he never moved the whole day. He just threw it harder.
Threw it harder.
Yeah, he just smiled. Whenever it hooked more, he would he would 4-pin, and he would just get a little smile on his face, and he'd
Oh.
go, all right, I get to throw a little harder. And then he'd throw another 18 bagger, and then he'd 4-pin. And then he'd say, okay, I'll throw a little bit harder.
Did you guys see that not connect somehow?
That was unbelievable.
That pin exploded. How did that not hit it?
Jinx.
Oh,
Wow. Unbelievable.
totally
Hey,
all
Nick.
Mike's fault.
Nick, speaking of the South Point Bowling Center, if you don't mind, keep all that in mind when you're setting the patterns for the Open Championships this year. Remember, I can only be in one place at a time. When you set those patterns, give me an opportunity. We don't. I think their record for most front sevens on a squad was 13 one year, and I don't know. I don't know if I can handle that kind of exercise.
Maddie, the patterns are done. It's done. They're all in the machines. They're ready to go. So,
Hey guys, I'm back to go through this exercise here because I got another one.
But before you get that, Mike, how dare you do that to Sam? We thought we were finally going to have this happen. And B, he's going to be 300 over for 4, folks. Oh, that's what that was. I was wondering what that was.
that's
Now we know.
MF logo on it. Yes.
Now we know.
Okay, guys, so the next player up that I had on my list was Tim Foy Jr. at plus 184. Is he going to get to 250?
That's 1,100 for 4 right there. Tim Foy, let's see what he's been doing so far.
260 this game.
Okay, so Tim Foy is going to get there. And I'm using 250 as the benchmark, 250 over. Brian Robinson's up next at plus 175. Is he going to get to 250?
What's he at?
175.
He can be about.
Yes.
Okay,
He's good.
so
He's going to shoot 237 this game.
okay, so we think he's going to get there. So the next one up is Spencer Robards. He's at plus 142, and he just bowled 168 his last game. How's he doing this game?
Shooting 240.
So do we think Spencer Robards is going to get to 250? Probability over 51%, yes or no?
Yeah, his average for the squad would say yes.
Yes, I would agree.
Okay, so far, just going through this exercise before I bring in the next players that can get there, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for sure we think are going to make it off this squad.
Is Chris Barnes going to make the cut?
JT, remember when I said how proud I was that you were going to have all 4 players in, or all 6 players, excuse me?
I might have like 2.
This has dramatically changed the landscape, and whoever had more people on B squad might be making a big run here.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys. So that's actually 5. Danielle Spencer, Brian Robinson, Tim Foy, and Packy Hanrahan. And I'm going to get to the others that are on the bubble here, okay? So those 5, if they make it and move into the number, that then changes it to Nathan Bohr at 226, okay? So up next on our list is Stu Williams at plus 141. Is he going to make it? Is he going to be at 250 or better?
What's he
God, I
bowling
hope
this
so.
game?
He's shooting 192 this game.
So I say no. That means he's averaging about 215 the block per game. So he's not going to make it.
So he's got 4 more games to go after this one, and he's going to need 120 over.
The data says no as of this game.
So that's a question mark, not a guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next up on my list is Michael Tang at plus 137. Is he going to get to 250?
Yes.
Yeah, he's averaging 240 for the squad per game.
I think he just shot 240 or 250.
Yep. So I say
Okay.
yes.
Up next on my squad, now this gentleman's at plus 92. That's quite a ways to go. Carl Walgren. Is Carl Walgren going to go 160 over his last 5 games?
He just shot 245.
I give him 50% chance. He
So
shot
that's a question
950. He
mark.
shot 950 for 4, so he's averaging 240. Right.
Okay, then the next player I have is Oscar Palermo at plus 86.
I say no.
What's he doing this game?
Not a lot. Clean. Imagine when Clean wasn't good at the U.S. Open. Yeah, clean 190 here if he picks up this 4-pin.
Okay, so if I go back any further than that, then I don't think there's really anywhere further than that. Sean, B squad. Michael Mirabile. He's at plus 51. He would have to go 200 over.
No, I think you exhausted your list, Mike. I think what you got. I think it's Carl Walgren's the last one.
Okay, so then if that's the case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 are going to make it.
You got someone looking over your shoulder there too.
I know. Okay, so 6 are for sure going to make it off this squad at 250 or better. Okay, and I'm just using that as a number. So if you take those 6, that brings us up to 30th, right? Which is Marshall Kent plus 230. Right? And that's what we agreed upon. So 230 would be the number if Stu Williams, Oscar Palermo, and Carl Walgren, and we think Oscar is a stretch. Stu Williams and Carl Walgren can then eliminate Marshall Kent and AJ Johnson. So AJ Chapman is safe at plus 250 then. But Chris Vi is kind of a wild card. He's at plus 246. I don't know what he bowled that game.
He bowled well that game.
Okay, so he's okay. So, this Tim Mack 250 over isn't going to make it, and AJ Chapman sitting in his hotel room freaking out. AJ, I want you to calm down. You're going to be okay, pal. All right, I actually crunched the numbers. I crunched the numbers right here.
That is impressive.
This is a key game because now they're flipping to the third flop of pairs. So that's critical. And now, Mike, I think they're starting to think about the number more. Now there's some pressure. Hey, what if I don't keep pace? If I don't bowl 230 or today? So I think the highest part of the scoring is probably over with for block. I'm going to wager.
But we believe as a group that Danielle McEwen, Spencer Robarge, Brian Robinson, Tim Foy, Packy Hanrahan, and Michael Tang are all going to eclipse 250 over. Just
based on current data, I say yes.
Right. And then we've got Stu Williams and Carl Walgren are question marks, and Oscar Palermo is a dark horse that if he bowls a big game or two, he could get in there. And again, our check marks on who we believe is going to get to that number, they're not there yet, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. 6 players we believe will get there, and 3 could.
Michael, I'm a big fan of your initiative in this project.
That was a deep dive.
Yeah, I got Jeff Fair firing at me here on this, trying to help me as well.
Start that text off by saying, "Hi, Jeff. Aaron Smith says hello. I hope you're doing well."
Jeff says you have to move up the people on C that are currently in the cut, but below 250. That's a good point. That's a good point. So
Thanks,
how many
Willie.
of those are there? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, he's right. Thank you, Jeff.
And text him. I say hello.
Does that move it up to 258?
Yeah. So Timmy was right.
Timmy was right.
All that for nothing I just did.
But now, see, that's like in math class in high school when you're in algebra and you have the right answer. Then the teacher says, "But how did you get there? You have to show the work." Now you've shown the work, Michael.
Yeah, it was that having to go get Cooley the Black Cloud that really screwed me up. Jeff Fair says, "Hello, Aaron Smith."
Yes. Hi, Jeff.
don't know why he just doesn't hop in the chat, but that's okay. We'll go through my Facebook Instant Messenger. Yeah, so you're right. So yeah, Darren Tang, Pontus, Chris Prather, Marshall Kent, AJ Chapman. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that would be 5. That would be five people. So yeah, I get it now.
Seriously though, if you finished this early squad and put up 200 and change, and I couldn't imagine what those guys are thinking right now. To finish that, look at the scoring pace for what they saw, and you know what? Maybe they did see it out there and said, if they get away from urethane, if the reactive plays, they can put up some numbers. But this is pretty nuts. Well, folks, this is what we're doing. We are calculating numbers, looking at cut scores. Final 4 games of qualifying here at the 2021 U.S. Open from the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. My name is Aaron Smith. I'm joined by the Bowl TV team this week, Jason Thomas, Matt Cannizzaro, Mike Flanagan, and our special guest, Nick Hoagland, on the call as well. And we are seeing some strikes, folks. Sam Cooley is plus 300 for 4 games. We had 2 guys get to plus 300 for 8. That is nuts. I love it.
I got smoke coming out
Sam.
of my ears.
Hey, Aaron, do you have access to the archives of what the 8-game U.S. Open scoring record is?
I can take a glance. I'm not sure if I'll have an answer for you, but I will take a look.
If anyone's got the answer, it'd be you, friend.
It's a lot of pressure. Let's go ahead and bring JT and Matt back in. Just for a quick second, we'll go back to full screen.
Guys, I just had a really scary, just bad thought. Nick, did you happen to see our highlight of the day yesterday with AJ Chapman?
Yeah, the 2-0.
2-0. Guess what AJ's at?
Wow.
Plus 250.
Uh-oh. I'm sure he thought about that before us.
Yeah. I bet you nobody on this squad the rest of the night's gonna do that.
I never would imagine the scoring pace being this high. This is impressive to watch.
If we polled all the pros in the building right now and said, "Hey, would you rather bowl on this or bowl on a house shot for another 8 games?" What do you think they would pick?
Depends on how they bowl this pattern.
Well, that's an interesting question, though. But Nick will remember this, but there was a tournament called the Red, White, and Blue tournament a while back. And the players actually bowled better on the blue pattern than the red pattern because they were more blended. And so, I think the players, if they had to shoot a big score, I mean, this pattern still, they would pick a league pattern over this, but we're starting to get on close to the line of them preferring to bowl on this. I always thought it was interesting that the cheetah pattern for amateurs was the lowest scoring pattern out of all the patterns, and the pros averaged 250 on it. Maybe not 250, but very high. And it's just because they don't need that much room, and if you give them a little bit of shape and define friction, they'll just eat it up, and that's what they're getting right now.
Yeah, Jason, you're right about that cheetah. You recall this is back in the early 2000s when they were, oh man, We bowled cheetah in Medford, Oregon, a couple times, and they used to have a big tournament in Calcutta that had amateurs and pros in it. And the pros would not miss, and the amateurs could not strike on the cheetahs. They never could get their ball to the gutter. They always missed left.
And I thought the funniest thing about it was that, the shark was the hardest pattern typically back when the original animal patterns were created. And that was the highest scoring pattern for the amateurs because they like to play in the middle part of the lane.
That's right.
And a bit of oil. They didn't whack it, but they could keep the ball kind of in the right zone where they like to play. And it scored better than cheetah.
You are exactly correct. What I get the sense is that even from Tim Mack's comments that no one saw this level coming. I mean, it's sort of an evolving thing, this block. It just keeps getting better and better. I do think, though, we're in the fifth game now. Third time bowling on a pair. I think you're going to see some wiggle, some difference in the lanes here moving forward. So I would wager the scores have peaked after the fourth game for the field.
I'm anxious to see how many people jump into the number after that last game.
What was it going into last game? It was 213.
Yep, 213, Darren Tang.
Taking a look at live scoring right now, Anthony Nyer front seven on 33 and 34. A couple four-baggers after spares, but that's the one big run at the moment. Cooley, after a double, has not struck for 3 consecutive shots, so someone please go check on him, make sure he's all right.
Again, because of the lane traffic, I'd expect the lefties to bowl better if they have a look right now, because they're not going to have as much transition as the right did. The lefty-righty stats, you'd expect with a field size of 36, you assume mathematically based off number of bowlers in the field have somewhere between 5 and 7 lefties statistically that would make the next round. And right now there's 6 in the cut. So, the pattern's showing that both styles, both hands can compete. Does anybody know what Nathan Bohr bowled last game?
In game 3, he bowled 237. He had 734 after 3, so.
I'm still mesmerized that I didn't remove the that it wasn't just the dead numbers when I was doing my math. And I told A.J. Chapman not to panic, and really, barring a miracle, he's done. And we really could have that roll-off. If Arturo and Richie are watching, I would assume we'd have a roll-off tonight.
Yep, it would be tonight.
Aaron, is it on a a fresh pair, or is it on a pair that's been bowled on?
That's I'd have to look that up in the rules. We talked about it a little bit earlier last year. We actually had a tie for the 36th spot between Walter Ray and Perry Crowell. And of course, Perry went on to win that one. Bit of a slugfest on the flat condition, 181 to 154. So probably a little higher scoring today, but would have to check the rules to see what we got. So I'll take a crack at that. Looks like Nathan was at 912 after. After four games this block, so
he's if he can make it through this on the pattern, I think the rest of the way he'd be a sneaky.
We do have a score update. So Packy and Danielle have moved in. I'm circling them on my sheet here.
As we look at that, Sam Cooley is now plus 402, jumped all the way into 7th. Brent Boho still leading the squad at plus 415. Jesper Svensson plus 407. And Sam Cooley at plus 402. Nick Pate plus 352. Michael Davidson plus 347. Zach Tackett plus 338. Anthony Nyer plus 306. Chris Vai plus 284. Belmo plus 281. Francois plus 272. Ascona plus 263.
But the number only went up 5 pins. Is that right, guys?
To 218, yes.
So up next to get into the number is Michael Tang, Brian Robinson, Nathan Bohr, Tim Foy. That's the next group. Tim Foy's at 204 over, Bohr's at 205, Tang's at 205, Robinson's at 210, and currently right now 36th is Pontus at 218.
Now, Carl Walgren bowled 245 last game, so he's at 953 for 4. He's 153 over for 4. So if he kept that pace, he would get in as well.
Which would then mean that Kim Bolavy would be the next one out if Stu makes it in too. Stu's at 132 with 4 to go.
But his look hasn't obviously been as good as Carl's. He's 100 behind him for the squad.
And Oscar with 197 the last game. I'm ready to draw lines and eliminate people, guys, but I just can't do that yet to paint a clear picture.
278 that game for Anthony Nyer. He's 230 over for the block so far.
Got Oscar struggling this game, 83 in the 6 with a double up.
Sam Cooley has to strike out to shoot 200 even. Danielle's pacing 226, but still has 246 out there. Walgren can get to 257.
That's unbelievable.
Spencer's slowing down a little bit, though. He can max out at 206 this game. Mikey Tang slowing down this game. Max at 195.
Tim Foy's going to get there this game.
Brian Robinson, max at 179.
Stu 2 at 227. So I mean, we're assuming that these guys are going to bowl huge scores. So I wonder how many darts are being thrown at the computer screens right now in hotel rooms.
All right, folks, as we get toward the end of Game 5, Nick, I know you have to get going for today, but we certainly appreciate the insight and appreciate the vast roller coaster of emotions we've seen these players go through, and the shots and the scoring pace as well. It's been it's definitely made for a fun, interesting U.S. Open, and we would expect nothing less. So thank you for joining us once again. Hopefully, depending on how the weekend looks, maybe chatting a little bit more about Pattern 4 when you can. But thank you, as always, for your insight, your time, and just everything you do for the sport.
Thanks, guys. It's a pleasure being on here, and hopefully I can get back on with you tomorrow and assess it. Again, my last comment is when you guys get to the cut tonight and tomorrow's round, the number of left-handers making it will have an effect on their side tomorrow on Pattern 4. So just keep an eye on that in the morning squad, and hopefully we'll play tomorrow night.
Excellent stuff. Thanks, Nick. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Take care, bud.
Thanks, guys.
51 pins separate 36 from 24. Something to kind of keep an eye on as we look ahead to tomorrow, because tomorrow we'll cut to 24. 12 more will be eliminated. Are we seeing a little bit of a hiccup here in game number 5 for some of these guys that we had check marks next to that we thought were going to get into the number here?
Since Nick mentioned it and he asked, the tiebreaker rule for qualifying here: if there's a tie for the final position into a cut, non-match play, or needed to complete the field for match play, one complete game shall be bowled on a neutral pair selected by the tournament director following the final block. The bowler with the highest qualifying block chooses the starting lane, and the bowler on the odd lane will start. Bowlers will have 10 minutes of practice. If a tie still exists at the end of the game, a one-ball roll-off will be bowled on the same pair of lanes to break the tie, and they will do that until someone wins. It does not mention anything particularly about if it was fresh or not. So I think they would just look for pairs. That each competitor had not previously come off on for that final game. So I think they just run it back. But we'll see if we can get an official answer as we wrap up Game 5. Tim Foy getting there this game. Shot 247 to get to plus 251. As we wrap up this game, I know we had it asked in the chat a little bit earlier, but let's knock out our giveaway. So, folks watching on BoldTV.com, first and foremost, thank you so much. This is one of the favorite parts of the gig. It's being able to hopefully make a few folks smile along the way and give away some cool stuff along with watching the best bowlers in the world. How does it get better than that? So in the next minute or two, while we're switching in between games here, we are going to give away our third qualifying prize, a Teledrome. So one lucky winner will take that home tonight. When it's time, you'll see a prompt come up in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen saying a giveaway will begin soon. It'll count down, usually about 60 seconds. And then another prompt will arrive that will say the giveaway has begun. We'll have another 45 seconds. And during that second prompt, you'll see a button that says Submit Entry. All you have to do is click on that. Submit Entry, click the button. We do recommend, if you're into the full screen mode, take it out for a quick second. Make sure you can see the chat and all that good stuff. But we will be starting that. Oh, look at the JT. Already ready. Perfect timing as we wrap that game up and get into game 6. So best of luck, everybody. Mike, who do we want to watch this game before we get to our giveaway?
Man, do we want to watch people that are gonna get in, or people that are gonna set scoring records? That's our choice. Oh man. You know, Michael Tang is an interesting subject, and you got Belmo with him. Spencer Robarge, Tim Foy. Those would be my votes.
What game is this? Game 6?
Yeah.
Let's see. We would have
59 and 60 is Tang. 55 and 56 is Foy. And 47 and 48 is Spencer.
We haven't seen Spencer yet today, so let's go to. We've watched those other guys so far.
Yeah, and he's plus 170, so with 3 to go. So if he's going to have to shoot 680 to get to 250 the last 3 games, and it all starts here.
All right, we'll work toward that switch. Before we do that, though, let's take a look at the Bold TV schedule coming up here for the rest of the U.S. Open. Once again, Sunday, FS1 will be our televised final, 2 p.m. Eastern, but we'll do a pregame and a postgame show prior to the start of that. Guess what? There'll be giveaways there too.
Game 6.
All right, everybody, as we we'll have this camera switched over in just a second. Once we how about that's when we'll start the giveaway. When we get the camera switched to 4748, we'll start the giveaway. So all the pressure on JT now to help you bring a Teledrome home today. There we go. There it is. Giveaway time. 47 and 48 is up. So good luck, everybody. Wait for the submit entry button. So good luck, everybody. Once again, all you have to do is click the submit entry button for your chance to win. Spencer Robars, Jake Rollins, and Carl Walgren. Here on 47 and 48. Carl and Spencer in the position of needing a strong showing in the final 3 games here. To potentially make the top 36 here at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, the real bonus here is having Carl Walgren and Spencer Robar. So I didn't even catch that, Aaron, and that this is the right pair to have on the screen right now. 2 guys looking to get in the number.
Big congratulations to Jay Crow for winning our giveaway today. Jay, our marketing team will be in contact with you soon through email to make sure that that gets your way. So congratulations, and thanks again for everyone for participating, and thanks again for being part of Bolt TV.
Aaron Smith, the question is, with 3 to play, are we going to have a 300 game?
I feel we really were in full swing during those first 3-4 games. Potentially the knowing that the end of the U.S. Open and a cut is at stake might make it a little bit tougher. Unfortunately, I think I might. If I had to pick right now, I'd go with the under.
How quickly things can change around here. That's unreal.
If there's 3 of them in the final 3 games now, then you can obviously tell that I'm nuts. We'll bring JT back in here in just a second. There's JT.
I don't know how it's possible that the scores could be as high as they are right now. And they're not. I mean, we've had an 1100 for 4. Like half the field shot 900 the first 4 on the squad. So I just don't know how it's possible that there hasn't been a 300 game yet.
I do.
Well, besides Black Cloud energy. Right?
Taking a look this game, Zach Tackett with an early front 4. Francois Lavoie, 3 in a row to start.
Yeah, Zach Tackett, he got the best of me Sunday night. He actually did shoot 300. He bribed me with Jack in the Box tacos.
I get you every time.
So Spencer starts out with, a triple 9 spare now facing the split here. And Carl Walgren, who was, averaging 240 plus back-to-back opens. Got a standings update, Aaron Smith. The number currently is a tie. 222. AJ Johnson and Chris Prather. Michael Tang is at plus 190. He bowled 185. Ryan Robinson bowled 179. Nathan Bohr bowled 179. Spencer bowled 192. Walgren had 244. So Stu only had 203. So scoring pace, speed bump in game 5.
I'm going to call it right now, Mike.
Good. I'm glad somebody is.
Francois Lavoie is going to shoot 300 this game. He shoots 300 at the U.S. Open every year.
He does have a knack for it.
That was the one you had to get over. Francois has the front 5 now.
For a piece of history, young man.
And by piece of history, we mean breaking Mike Flanagan's Black Cloud. I'm pretty sure Frankie has a string of at least 3 U.S. Opens where he's bowled 300. And he also doesn't show any reaction when he does it. And I think now he just does it on purpose. Just to mess with us.
I figure because when he shoots it, we make the video, then he's got free content to share on social media.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really genius when you think about it.
I know.
Tim Foy jumped into the number, by the way, at plus 251 after the last game, bowling 247.
Yeah, and he's got spare 5-bagger this game.
AJ Johnson currently the number, tied with Christopher Prather for 35th position. We got any other possible 3 bills out there?
Well, Brandon Biondo has 7 in a row, but it was after a spare in the first. It looks to be just Francois. Jesper Svensson as well on 35-36 spare 7-bagger. But he was already well within the number to start today.
How's Brian Robinson bowling?
Not well. Max of 196 this game by striking out the 9th and the 10th.
Uh-oh.
Or that is his max, I should say.
So this number's coming down. These people that earlier were check marks are no longer check marks.
Yeah, if somebody had just tuned in and hasn't been watching at all, and they just tuned in to hear Mike say the number's coming down. Well, what is the number? 240. What? It's coming down. What are you talking about? We were talking about it being 130 this morning.
Yeah, we were.
Currently 222. Let's
I think it's important to say that the number was 90 coming into today.
also a good point.
I'm running it out for Frankie.
What frame you want me to go down there and spoil it?
Go down there now.
All right.
See if this black cloud thing's real.
Okay, and you guys are going over there right now, right?
We're going to go over there, so everybody hang tight. We're going to go like that. We're going to see Mike go, whoop. Then we'll be ready for business. He's got it ready. Nathan Bohr and AJ Johnson. So a lot at stake for both of these guys. We mentioned AJ is the cut right now at plus 222. Nathan looking to get there. He's got 5 in a row now.
Yeah, he had to make a little jump left. He was really on the edge of the gutter, and the ball was starting to shape up a little too early, so he had to jump left, and now has a nice little look. Are you kidding me? Mike Flanagan's down there. We'll see if black cloud is real.
Well, the "Are you kidding me" already makes it sound like it potentially is. Just kidding.
Were you guys able to hear the ball reps on that one?
No. What did they say?
Catch it.
I just heard I just heard AJ Johnson down there. He said, "Good job, Mike." And then Brett Spangler said, "Everybody give Mike a round of applause for that."
There's no other explanation for that than Mike Flanagan caused it. I mean, that strikes. How many times does that strike? A million out of 1,000,001?
I know. And you know, here's how it all came about, in case you haven't been joining the coverage all week and last week, is, you know, I'm here to have a good time. I'm here to do my job. I love professional bowling. I root for all the athletes. And I want to cover it all through imagery. And I want to do a good job of it. And when I walk out and go down to a pair of lanes, and I've got employees working the event, ball reps, and the players all saying, "Oh, here comes the cloud," you know, quite honestly, I'm tired of it. So I decided the other day that I'm going to embrace it and celebrate it. And that's the second time I got Frankie this week. I think he had front 7 and he 7-10'd on me. And AJ Johnson is getting kind of animated here. He knows he's the number. He's pressing a little bit, and he's starting to get amped up. And not amped up in the way that we saw in the PBA League when he was striking for his team and arguably one of the most valuable players in the PBA league. He did such a great job. No, we're seeing him starting to fry a little bit here. Wouldn't surprise me if he picked this up. All right, I might have cheated on that one.
Did you see that last shot by Frankie, Mike, and see how nicely the pins just laid down for him when you weren't down there?
Oh, yeah, it was 10 back.
Mike, I got a quick non-bowling interjection for you because I know you're a fan of wrestling. And essentially, in this maneuver of embracing the black cloud, you've become a heel. So I would like to know, what is the equivalent? Is this Hulk Hogan joining the NWO? What is the proper way to explain your turn here against 300 games?
Well, the people. It was the constant bullying and harassment. Me walking down with a camera and people saying, "Oh, because he's here, they're not going to strike." So I just said, "If that's what you want, that's what I'll give you." Now, if they want to turn this thing around, this is how you do it. To the players, they're going to be bowling tomorrow. If you see me walking around and you're bowling good, I need some positive energy my way. I'm looking for like, "Oh, hey, Mike, thanks so much for coming down here, man. Love the work that you do. I'm going to finish this out for you so you can get a nice clip, reach several thousand people, and maybe more people will go bowling." If I start getting some comments like that, "Oh, Mike, come on down. We got a spot for you." I think we could be in a different spot. If I can change, and you can change, everybody can change. I just want to say one thing to my kid who should be at home sleeping. Merry Christmas, kid. I love you. That's my dad.
Fantastic.
We know. What do you think we are, nerds?
AJ, after tripping the 9, unable to turn it into a double, but he's going to move up here. He was the number heading into this game.
Just to put this thing to rest. There were astronomical scores the last squad, and I wasn't in the building. So now I guess somebody can make the case that it's this camera, because it was still in the building. That is unreal, though. I can't believe it.
246 for Nathan Bohr.
Okay.
So he is one, I believe, you got to put the check mark next to, because that's going to get him to...
Oh, he was already around. He was already around.
Okay. So he's at 230 now. AJ's at 235. Frankie's mowing him down now after the stone cold nickel.
Robarge bowled 233. So that puts him at 203.
Were we still on Packy watch?
Packy had got into the number and it didn't bowl a great game.
He just finished up with 226.
He's fine. He's in.
Svensson shot 278. Well in, but just for reference. Walgren. Oh, where'd he go? Walgren 181. He's given some pins back. Foy followed that up with 265, so he's flying in.
I'm going to tell you, man, that kid is bowling amazing.
Having one heck of a week here in Reno. Mikey Tang, 214 that game.
Okay, he's on the outside looking in.
Zach Tackett, nice 279. He's had a fantastic week. Brian Robinson did get to 196. That's what Osku had that game as well.
Mikey Tang is now at 204 over. Or what'd you say, Mikey bowled?
214?
Yep, that's the number then. 204 over for Mikey Tang with 2 to go.
Let's watch Mikey Tang next game. How about that?
Did you just hear that on the stream? Can people hear the audio from down there? AJ just said, "Nice game, Frankie. You can blame Flanagan for the 5-pin." I just heard it on the audio. This is getting too ridiculous.
Now, Mike, you know when your power will reach its full potential? If you go down there and you get someone to 4-5.
Yeah, that's boy, ain't that the truth.
We're looking for Mikey Tang. Let's see if he's hitting one of our pairs this game.
Yeah,
oh,
he's
yeah.
55 and 6 area.
57-58 this game. Game 7. All right. Folks, we haven't talked about it too much, but don't forget, super promo VIP special offer, $49.95. Ongoing until Saturday. Pick it up. Don't miss it. Pick up a year of Bowl TV. You can watch cool events just like this. So Belmo, Mikey Tang, and Carlos Granados. Belmo 331 over. Mikey Tang at plus 204, currently on the outside looking in. Looks like Carlos at minus 88. Mike, how many folks are left on the list on the outside looking in outside of, you mentioned Mikey, we got Spencer.
Brian Robinson.
So 3.
Yeah, I scratched Oscu. And then we got Stu and Carl Walgren. But both of them need some help. They need some games. $250, something like that.
Folks, this is it. This is time. 2 games left in qualifying at the U.S. Open here in 2021. We're having scores coming at us left and right. Strikes are piling up. Sam Cooley, I believe, what's the best way to describe what Sam Cooley did those first 4 games? That's like unlimited on fire mode on NBA Jam.
Yeah, he was matched up.
But now getting a little more tense in the building. Folks eyeing down that number.
Aaron, you remember earlier today you asked me if anybody got to 300 over, right? And I think one person had. It was Perry.
Zeke did as well.
Zeke, okay, but they barely did it. Rather, like 310 or right. Sam went 300 over for 4.
Oh, yeah. And then I believe he shot 180 after that, but he bounced back with 225. But
Yeah.
has put himself in good position here.
But Mike, you guys alluded to it. The scoring pace has slowed down just a touch. I mean, obviously there's still a lot of players out there putting up big numbers, but for whatever reason, the number hasn't been going up like it had been. And you can never underestimate the squeeze factor coming down the stretch here the last 2 games.
Giving him the squeeze. Late night on Bowl TV. This is crazy. I'm still. We were at a point where like 130 to 150 seemed just so. All right, that's it. It is crazy.
Well, one thing we haven't said, and it should be said, is when these players see the finish line, it's just like nothing else. I remember bowling, and I'm going to use an example from my own personal experience, and I know people hate it, and it's not really the same level, but I remember bowling a big regional tournament, and there were a number of tour players in the field, and I led the tournament from the beginning all the way till the end, and you can feel the pressure of the players chasing you down because they know what that number is, and then they start elevating their game. And so that's kind of what we're seeing out here right now. The players all know that they need to shoot big numbers and that they're out there, and they are just going all out to get it. And it's just, you can feel kind of the collective energy of the field raising their game tonight. And these players are just so good. You can only, it's like the old Sports Center thing. You can't stop them. You can only hope to contain them. And we can't forget Danielle McEwen, who's putting up a big number tonight as well. So it's just you have to mention just how good these players are, and how if you just give them a little bit of room to play with, they are going to shoot lights out scores.
Some early runs here in game number 7. Michael Mirabile, front 4. Christian Ascona, front 5. Carl Walgren, front 4. Nathan Bohr and AJ Johnson, front 4. Brandon Curtis, front 5. Askew, front 5. Nick Pate, front 5.
Everybody front 5.
That's a lot of front 5s. Business about to pick up.
We haven't had one all day. We're going to have 5 in one game.
To Don in the chat, just give me a yay or an A. Marabili. Michael Marabili. Is that correct? We do appreciate the help on these folks, so if we are messing up a name, please help us with the pronunciation if you got it. So, Don, let me know.
Guys, we got some 300 watches out here to the point that I'm getting the feeling we're going to have more than one this game. I've got my tripod ready, put behind a pair to record on its own, and I got my cell phone ready. We got way too many strings here. I think we're going to have at least 1, maybe 2 this game.
Well, the reason is because you'll be shooting one from on the high side, and you'll mess that one up, and then the one on the low side will happen.
Mikey Tang.
We got a bunch of them out here. Yeah, Mikey.
One more time. Michael Mirabilly. Mirabilly. Thanks again, Don. So, like, if we have like 4 or 5 people with the front 7, like, what's the rotation of the order here? Do you guys have that all squared away?
You're going to be holding down the commentary yourself, buddy.
Oh, I know that, but I'll be ready for that.
Which order are they going to happen in? Well, you got Oskew Palermo and Brandon Curtis on 2 adjacent pairs, 61 and 2 and 65 and 6 with the front 7. And then Christian Ascona on 41 and 2 with the front 6.
Woo. Walgren missed in the 6th frame. Mikey Tang.
Remember,
still running 280 here.
I'm in the future, so I can tell you the current strings. I can see the whole bowling center from where I'm standing.
I see Curtis and Palermo at 7. Looks like Oscar just got 8.
Yes.
And Ascona.
I have Ascona at 6.
Ascona just missed.
So I got 2 left.
Yep, and they're right next to each other. And Brandon Curtis just got the 8th one.
I'm going down there now, boys.
Good luck, Black Cloud.
Thank you.
Wow. Let's go to 65 and 66 here. We got Mikey Tang is going to fly into the number here. So it's just going to be me and JT hanging out for a second. What did we say? 65, 66?
Yes, and 61 and 62. That would be Brandon Curtis.
Well, we will start 65, 66. So bear with us, folks. There we go. All right. This is also a big game for Brian Robinson, plus 185. He's working on 5 in a row. 260 is still out there. Whew.
Good 9.
Sean Lavery, plus 299. He's in position to make a nice little jump here as well. Looks like Brandon getting ready first on 62. Osku down at 8. Plus 51. He needed potentially 2 big games there to make a run. Since Brian got the 1. In the 9th, we'll head over there next.
Chance to watch Stu Williams as well. He's one of my guys trying to sneak in. Needs a couple of big games.
Could still get to 224 this game. That would put him in a position to put together a strong final game. Make it happen. Zach Tackett plus 421. Brandon Curtis, far left of your screen. Working on 9 consecutive strikes. Ah. What is Hulk Hogan doing? Why is he with the NWO?
I don't know. I will tell you that
Hollywood Flanagan.
I recorded Brandon's ninth one, but I did get Oscar in the ninth on my first time filming him.
You might be the best Black Cloud ever. You might have surpassed myself and Lucas and Matt Lawson. You're in the Black Cloud Hall of Fame. You might be the Michael Jordan of the Black Cloud Hall of Fame.
I really appreciate that very much.
Michael, for your notes, Brian Robinson 223 that game.
So that puts him where now?
He was at 185, so that makes him 208.
Okay. Aaron, I need to do an interview with someone at the end of this block. Who do you think would be the best person to interview at the end of this block?
Interesting. Well, first and foremost, that start from Sam Cooley was pretty impressive.
Yep.
Stu's going to be at 203 here, so he's just going to be at plus 165. Going to need a big game.
Cooley it is, guys. Forgot to ask the man that knows how to cover stories like no one else in bowling. I see your note in there.
Mikey Tang, 249 that game.
$249.
Just got an update after 22. Nathan Bohr was the number at plus 230. Tang was at plus 204 and 43rd. So we got eyes on Spencer. Spencer's going to be in the 220s here. So Michael Tang, well, he's jumped Darren and he's jumped the number. Marshall Kent was in the clubhouse at 230.
$219 for Spencer brings him to 222. Carl Walgren can still bowl 220 forward, put him at 186. He would need 270, high 260s or 270 the last game to get in, potentially.
Still leading. Jacob Buttriff plus 669. Matt Sanders second plus 512. Jesper Svensson on the squad up to plus 498. So looking like it's going to be Jacob leading the way. Michael Davidson, he's been having he's been quiet, but he's been having a really nice event at plus 442. Anthony Nyer all the way up to fifth, plus 435. Zach Tackett plus 421. Chris Barnes plus 417. Sam Cooley plus 414. Perry Krall plus 413. And Brent Boho plus 384. That was after 6.
So the players in jeopardy are Marshall Kent and AJ Chapman right now.
For players yep, those are the two.
So Marshall's at 230 and AJ's at 250.
And we just had Mikey jump in.
So Mikey went around Marshall.
So right now, I know AJ was plus that game. Bohr was plus. Packy was plus.
Spencer got the 222, so he's close. Richie Teese and Arturo Quintero, please put on your jerseys, your pants, your socks. Bring your bowling shoes.
I did confirm with Rob Agachel that we will, if we had that situation occur, we would not have to worry about re-oiling. It would be what's left over from the squad, as long as it was a neutral pair that neither participant had bowled on this round. So based off of your mathematics there, Michael, it feels like Spencer is the first player who is on the outside looking in.
Yes, sir. And then Brian Robinson would be next.
All right, let's see what pairs they are on. Looks like Jesper at plus 495, so Jacob Buttriff is going to lead the top 36 into competition tomorrow.
Buttriff, Sanders, Svensson, 1, 2, 3. Davidson is 4th. Nair is 5th. Zach Tackett 6th. Barnes is still hanging on to 7th. Cooley in 8th. Perry Crawl in 9th. Brent Boho in 10th right now with 2 to go on the scores, 1 to go on the screen.
So we got Carl Wahlgren plus 186. Need a big game, kicks it off with a strike. Spencer plus 222. Folks, this is it. This is a final game of qualifying for 108 competitors. We're going to say goodbye to 2/3 of them, down to the top 36 after this game. Question in the chat about our defending champion, Jason Belmonte. He is going to be moving on to the next round. Currently at plus 368 with 1 left to go. Hey, Mike, are you there?
Yep, got a copy.
We got to add one more person to the list. Got to keep an eye out for Brian Bourget at plus 189, bowling on 39 and 40 now.
Okay. Well, Walgren too.
Walgren as well, yep.
We're gonna be at the 3-hour scoring pace again too.
Oh, this is flying by. It is going quick.
Aaron, I'm going to share my screen so we can watch Brian Bourget come down the stretch here as well. So you can flip back and forth if you like.
Early double for Brian. Bowled collegiately at Robert Morris, Illinois. Let's go back to Spencer here. Some trouble for Brian there. Spencer early double.
Kind of got cold in here all of a sudden.
Mike, is it cold from you just icing everybody?
No, I don't know what just happened, but this is the first time I felt like a chill in this building.
It's the pressure of the U.S. Open cut line hovering over the 78-lane stadium.
Or somebody just adjusted the thermostat.
Worth noting, Mikey Tang, a little bit of a slow start here. Open, 3 spares in a row, strike in the 5th. He's over on 63 and 64.
Yeah, and if things weren't crazy enough, Stu Williams has the front 6.
He's at plus 165. Oh, that was a dirty trip 9, too. Looks like Brian Robinson went front 5 open. Three in a row for Spence. Back-to-back 210s on 52 for Wahlgren. It's going to be the pair he finishes on as well this game. Carl takes the 1-2 opens in the first 4 frames.
Belmo also has the front 6.
We'll head over to Stu's pair in just a second. Looks like he's going to beat Spencer up here, maybe.
Belmo's safe in the number, though, and he just missed, so we can focus on the players who are fighting to try to make this cut.
Once again, Stu plus 165. Oh, give him 7. Back to Spencer. Looking for 4 in a row after the spare. Making moves. All right, seeing a scoring update after 23 online. The cut right now, plus 250, AJ Chapman. Kent is out at plus 230. Mikey Tang, 3 pins ahead, plus 253. Nathan Bohr, plus 254. Robarge at plus 222. We need to get to 229 this game. Just pass AJ. Brian Robinson, we need 243. Brian Bourget, we need to get into the 260s.
He can't do it.
He's out.
Wahlgren, same situation. So it comes down to Stu and Spencer.
And Brian
Robinson.
Brian
Yep.
Robinson.
And where's Robinson at right now?
Oh,
Get out of there, 7-pin.
Goodness. Robinson is way down on 69 through 72. He has struck on, looks like 7 out of 8, but he hasn't opened. So he can get into the 260s this game. So no more misses for him. $79 for Stu.
What would that put him at?
244.
244. We need some help. Nathan Bohr filling frames right now. AJ Johnson in good shape. Where is Mikey Tang at?
Struggling.
He's got an open. He's got a double. Tang pacing 190. Might be bad news.
Nathan Bohr.
Nathan is clean through 6 with a double. Pacing 2-0. Let's go, folks. This is the U.S. Open cut we're talking about. Stu missed the single pin. We're going to go to Mikey Tang here. He can get to 214 this game. That plus 253 was in the number. Oh,
Big one. Big one.
Carlos Granado's giving him the, let's get it, guy. Let's get it right here. Gonna try and set up the far pairs, 69 through 72 real quick. Brian Robinson's getting ready for frame 10. Holy cow, this is crazy.
I'll tell you what, that missed 10 pin by Stu could cost him. If Michael Tang does a double in the 10th or strike in the 10th, that's going to put Stu behind him. So that was a huge miss.
264 still out there for Brian Robinson. First shot of the 10th frame. Four pin for Robinson. Drops his max down to 243.
That would put him at 251.
251. So spare and the strike, and he's dejected right now. He's got to pull it together.
He sure does.
Pull it together, Brian. Come on. You've bowled so well these 2 weeks. Make the spare. Goodness. Oh. Oh. This is so nuts.
All right, makes the spare. 9, he would tie AJ Chapman at plus 250. 10, he goes ahead of him.
Spencer bucketed in the 8th frame. If he picks it up, he's still in the 260s. Covered. Mikey Tang still not up yet for his 10th frame.
Stu Williams ended up going off the sheet for 267.
Uh-oh, that's out. Oh, from way downtown, 251. From way downtown, that was huge.
So Tang needs the first one to stay ahead of Brian Robinson. Has to have it.
Let's get some in the 2-0s. Oh, how good was that? How good was that?
Perfect. Still needs good count, though.
Spencer in the 9th. Just needs to fill some frames here. He's going to be good. Oh.
Baby. Wow.
3-7. Still going to have the opportunity here, but
yeah, but that makes it awfully close now.
What did Robinson finish with?
Oh, Mikey Tang, big shot, Mikey. My goodness, folks.
So if Spencer misses this, his max score would be 243, assuming he gets 9. That would put him at 265. So we'd need a mark and good count. Ooh, wow. That was close.
Clutch four-bagger at the end. Gets to plus 267.
Yeah, if Spencer were to go off the sheet, best he could get to is 265.
So we got Brian ahead of AJ at plus 251.
Nathan Bohr is going to be in the two teens.
Yep, so he's ahead. He's at 254 over, so that'll put him at 270 if he gets to 216.
He still has a max score of 226 left.
Spencer needs a mark and 7 to stay ahead of Brian Robinson.
Oh. Wow.
That's that Flanagan 5-pin. the one that Lavoie left when you went down there to try to shoot his 300 game.
Sam Cooley finished at plus 362 for the day.
That's a hell of a round by Sam.
I suppose if you're going to leave something in that situation.
So needs 7 or better to stay ahead of Brian Robinson. Does Spencer Robarge?
.233 the max score. Put him at plus 255.
So needs 7 or better. 6 is a tie with Brian Robinson for Spencer.
Oh,
no.
What?
They are tied at 251.
Yeah, and the ball reps and the players in the building are saying right now unofficially 251 roll off with that ball.
Oh my goodness.
Unofficially, that's the buzz in the building, guys. Spencer Robarge, Brian Robinson, 251.
All right. My goodness. What just happened? Oh.
We just had another ball rep come up and say 251 roll off tie. These guys know their numbers pretty well, but again, unofficially. That ball you just watched on Bowl TV has extended tonight's coverage, potentially, by one more game.
Wow. We will stay on the air. It will be, if there is a roll off, it'll happen on a neutral pair. These players are obviously both in the building, so it could happen immediately. The players typically would have a half an hour to get here, but since it's between two players on this squad, it would start right away. And they would get 10 minutes of practice on the roll-off pair. Holy cow.
Brian Robinson, 4-pin, first shot of the 10th. Thought it was over. Sat down. Absolutely nuts.
Incredible.
Struck on the fill. Spencer needing 7 through the nose. And unofficially, AJ Chapman is going to miss the cut by a pin.
Also, just to let you know, Spencer Robarge is talking to Jason Belmonte right now. They're having an extended conversation.
We got that on the screen right now, too, Mike.
Aaron, let's bring it back into the booth here.
So we wait for the official cut line. Let's chat with Sam Cooley. Sam, hello. Talk about a block to get out of the gates. 1,100 for your first four. What were you seeing out there on your way to making this cut?
I couldn't really put it into words. Those first four games went by so quick. I just have nothing. I had a game plan to try and stay as far right as possible after watching some of the previous squad, and I was able to stay in the one ball for the 8 games, maybe make a few small moves here and there, and I caught a few breaks in that 1,100 series. So in this sort of tournament, you need those breaks to make good runs, and I was able to do that.
We had obviously you had some opportunity to watch this block from what you saw in the practice day. Did you think about going 360 over at any point, or was that just kind of as the day developed, the game plan kind of changed, and you just did what you did after that?
So in the practice session, I wasn't anywhere near as far right as I was when I practiced. I was way further left and didn't have that great a ball reaction at the time. But watching the previous squad on the TV back in the hotel room, saw there was quite a few people using stronger balls to hook earlier in the front, and I stuck with that game plan. I think for the entire 4 games, I might have moved the board with the feet, and whatever moves that I made, they were all parallels. They were 1-and-1s, maybe 2-and-1s if I really needed to. I just tried to keep it as simple as possible, keep it in front of me as much as I can, because the miss for this pattern for me was definitely missing left. It felt like I couldn't miss it too far right unless I was really slow and I was really basically ripping the inserts out of the ball. So to get to 360 over, I kind of joked with Timmy and he said, if I told you you would have shot 1,100 for the first 4, what would you have done? I said, I probably would have laughed at you. So getting 360 overall, making a massive run, considering I was only 100 over the first 2 days, it's a pretty good feeling, despite that whole block going by really quick.
Yeah, Sam, I got a couple questions for you here. First of all, congratulations on the way that you've been bowling to take home the Cheetah Championship and get that title, and then to see you bowl really well at the Masters with some heartbreak there in that 3-for-4 match, and now here you are bowling incredibly well at the U.S. Open. You got to feel pretty good about your game right now.
It helps that I've been able to find a little bit of time in between the Masters and US Open to go and practice and work on the small little inconsistencies that I've had even across the last couple of tournaments. And those have been the big keys. Physically, it feels like I'm throwing it the best I have in my life. Mentally, very similar. I've had a lot of help with Dr. Dean Tinnitz. He's set me on the right path, I think.
Yeah, the last question I really have for you here is, how long have you been on the road, and what's it like having to spend that much time away from home?
So I've been in the US since basically the Players Championship regional qualifiers in Arizona. So that's going on 3 months now. Fortunately, I can kind of do what I want. I've got a very supportive base back home that have offered to keep an eye on the house here and there, make sure that it's still intact when I get home. So depending on how these results go, might determine me staying here a little bit longer if I can stay up there in the playoffs race, and we'll go from there. But the difficulty trying to get home right now is not so much getting home, it's mainly hotel quarantine. I strongly disagree with it, obviously, but that's not something that I can control. It's something that our government's put into force. So I'm going to look at possibly doing or getting the vaccine while I'm here. But if that doesn't make any difference in like not doing quarantine or being able to skip it, then I'll just have to bite the bullet and say, well, this is out of my control, and just put up with it.
Well, Sam, we appreciate you willing to make the sacrifice to come over and participate in our great sport and participate at such a high level. All the fans love watching you bowl. You've been on fire. We wish you all the best of luck moving forward in this event, and good luck whenever you do go home. Safe travels, of course, but you got a lot of work to do here in Reno still.
Yeah, definitely still a lot of work. The tournament's not even half over yet, so still lots of bowling left to go.
All right, thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
There you have it. That's Sam Cooley, Aaron Smith. It looks like we're gonna get this pair ready here. They have an oiling machine out. I didn't
Really?
know that was necessary, but they do have a machine out. I don't know if they're oiling a pair for this or if they're just getting ready to oil for the next squad. I don't know the answer to that right now. But I am going to leave and turn it over to Jason Thomas and yourself, so I can go get an interview with Sam Cooley for social media, and I'll be back to call the roll-off match, which everybody's sticking around for, but I have not heard an official announcement yet.
All right. Thanks, Mike. JT.
Wow. Crazy stuff.
The buzz. This is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah. And Spencer, he had the realization that, all he needed was 7, and he gets 6. They're tied. It sure looks like it's going to be a roll-off. We will have it for you right here on Bull TV. And if they do have a roll-off, they'll get right to it on 55 and 56. They'll get 10 minutes of practice on that pair, and it's a 1-game match to determine who makes it into the next day.
Unbelievable, folks. This is why you become part of the Bull TV community. This is how many times have we said this week? Last week. It's just unbelievable how crazy this all is. So many great moments, so many crazy moments, just so many jaw-dropping moments. I almost slid out of my chair when he got 6. I can't believe we get one more game of this today. This is just fun. Unbelievable.
It's like reading a good book, right? You just don't want it to end, and that's kind of what we're getting here. We'll have this match. I'm sure will be incredibly exciting. Matches don't get much bigger than this, except for a title. And if you remember, what did we say about Perry Crowell, who made the show and in the last U.S. Open? He actually had to win this match to get into the cut.
Win the match against Walter Ray.
Yeah.
On a flat condition.
It's just unreal. So, this condition, not quite as tough. Maybe we'll have a little bit better score. But, man, the matches don't get much bigger than this one.
Unbelievable. We're still waiting for the official tally to make sure, but by all accounts, unofficial, a tie at plus 251. Brian Robinson and Spencer Robarge, who obviously Spencer made the show at the Masters. Brian also made the bracket. So we're waiting for the final call, but while we do that, let's keep you guys entertained a little bit. And remember, $49.95 limited time deal, Bull TV annual subscription. Let's go.
Plus 251. There will be a 1-game roll.
And it's just been announced. It's official, and there is a tie. Roll-off's going to take place right here on 55 and 56, and I also realized, something terrible. AJ Chapman has missed the cut by 1 pin. And we saw him yesterday take the 6-9 out of a full rack and then go right between it. And that's going to cost him.
Absolutely crazy.
Wow.
Can see Damon and Sirocco talking to Spencer and Brian right now, laying down the rules. As JT, as you mentioned, 10 minutes of warm-up on this pair, 55 and 56. They will have the whole NBS to themselves here as we go full screen and prepare. So get ready for warm-up.
No timer on that? 10 minutes.
Since we got bonus bowling, though, folks, how about a bonus giveaway? While we're all waiting for this match to get underway, we got a Bull TV t-shirt to give away. So let's start that. Got Spencer throwing some pins around. We'll get it going. All you have to do is click submit entry. You'll see a prompt saying the giveaway will begin soon. It'll count down. You'll see another one. The giveaway has begun. Click submit entry. Potentially take home a Bolt TV t-shirt.
I have no idea. He didn't get down here. Oh. It seems like they're taking a lot more than they're taking off. I've got this one that's got like 6 shots on it.
Congratulations to Mitchell taking home a Bolt TV t-shirt. Our marketing department will be reaching out to you soon to get you that gear. So, folks, again, how we got here, coming down the stretch. Brian Robinson finishing first. Had the opportunity to shoot 264. He had struck on 8 out of his first 9 shots. A 6-3 in the middle of that there. Dropped that max down to 264. Left a 4-pin on his first shot of the 10th frame. Picked it up, struck, which moved the limelight over to Spencer. Spencer had opened the 9th frame. He left a 3-7. He got 1. Got pretty close. Got to the pocket. Left a stone cold 5. Covered it. Needed 7 to get to plus 252. Went through the nose. Left the 2-4-6-7. To create the tie in the roll-off here. This is a 1-game roll-off. Total pinfall determined who advances. For the folks asking in the chat, this does not go on to their overall score when we're looking at that for the U.S. Open for 56 game totals, 32 game totals. This is specifically just to win this match. So, in the standings at the end of the day, you'll see an asterisk. You'll see them both at the same amount, both in 36th place. But an asterisk saying who won the roll-off. We got more practice. How about one more Bolt TV t-shirt? One more giveaway to go, folks. We're getting crazy here with t-shirts. Once again, all you have to do is click submit entry. Once you see it pop up on the screen, if you're in full screen, might want to take it out for a second. Make sure you can see the chat. You'll see it in the bottom left-hand corner. Good luck, everybody. Jacob Buttriff leads plus 669. Here is your top 10. Buttriff, Sanders at plus 512. Anthony Nyer and Jesper Svensson tied at plus 510. Sam Cooley moved all the way up into 5th, plus 464 with that humongous 1962 block. Anthony Nyer, 1956. So without the flash of the hot start, the 821, the 1100 for 4, but Nyer went 36, 33, 36, 47, 78, 51, 15, and 60 today. Impressive bowling, Anthony. Great job. Zach Tackett plus 451. Michael Davidson. What a week for Michael Davidson. He's been great so far. Plus 448. Defending champion Jason Belmonte plus 424. Chris Barnes plus 417. And Nick Pate plus 414. Your top 10. So we mentioned plus 251. A tie for the 36th spot. Brian Robinson, Spencer Robarge. First player out, AJ Chapman at plus 250. Followed by Stu Williams plus 232. Marshall Kent plus 230. Chris Prather plus 222. Just inside the number, Arturo Quintero and Richie Teese at plus 258. Kim Bowleby plus 261. We saw Michael Tang throw a late four-bagger that final game to get to 214 and plus 267. Sean Rash plus 269. Nathan Bohr plus 270. PWBA Tour champion Danielle McEwen qualifying 25th at plus 301. Past U.S. Open champion Bill O'Neill in at 16th. Two-time champ Francois Lavoie in 19th. ...2006 winner Tommy Jones. In 20th at plus 348. In the number as well.
Spencer will start the match on the left leg. Come on, Spence.
All right, we're going to get this one-game roll-off to determine the final qualifier for the 2021 U.S. Open, the Cashers round. Top 36, Spencer Robarge, Brian Robinson. Spencer's going to lead things off. Let's bring JT back in. along with Stu Williams. Welcome, Stu.
Hey, how's it going?
We are rolling, sir. Great run this week.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing, but you know, the pins teased me that last game. It would have probably been a lot better mentally if it had just missed the second frame rather than the ninth frame.
Yeah, we were rooting for you, especially me because you're on my team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting in this for B-Rob because everybody loves B-Rob. But for my team, if Spencer makes it, I think I've got 5 out of 6, and I think I'm dominating.
Wow.
So, but we'll see.
Well,
pretty good start from both.
I'm not going to root against a 17-year-old, but
I don't care about that. He's left-handed.
He's left-handed.
Yeah, I mean, that's first port of call is the person left-handed. Okay, you lost. I mean, it goes in order: lefty, two-hander. So
an age.
B Rob is just ahead. It's kind of interesting. They both bowled pretty well the last game. Spencer struggled a little bit the last couple of frames. Brian was bowling right next to me. He had the front 4, then he split, then he struck all the way to the 10th, and he didn't throw it particularly good in the 10th first shot. 4-9 and just left the 4-pin. Made the spare and then struck, thinking he just got round AJ. That was going to be, enough kind of thing. And then the next minute, people are telling me missed. Then he made it. Then he missed again.
Yeah.
And then Spencer got 6 on the fill.
Yeah.
It's kind of a roller coaster of emotions. I think it was probably good that he was completely oblivious to most of it.
Sure. Are you surprised the number got this high?
Yes, at the start of the day, but once I spoke to a couple of the guys who bowled earlier, I kind of thought it would. That wasn't his best shot. I think that the pattern really, it was about having the right part of the lane, and that's where I went wrong. I thought that I had the right balls, and I really didn't, because it was forcing me out of the right part of the lane.
Yeah.
And I should have, once I went to that weaker phase 2, everything was fine, and I was able to get back to the proper part of the lane, and my first couple of pairs where they were a little tighter to the right really screwed up my whole bullock. Oh, wow. He went with the Anthony Simonson backup.
Yeah, he actually left one of those in game 16 and almost made it the same way.
That's a bit of a momentum turner, I think, though. Like, B-Rob had the double.
Yeah.
Spencer, 2 10s. Or 3 7s, sorry. To make it, kind of turned it on its head a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if he can follow it with a strike here. Kind of, asserts his authority that I'm not going anywhere type of deal.
I thought it was interesting that, there was basically after the first squad today, no righties through urethane, whereas lefties have basically been able to throw it. But it seems like their look at the end of the block is maybe a little more iffy than the righties if they're on the right pair. What do you think on that?
I think that they're insane for throwing. Anybody's insane who's throwing urethane on this. They're absolutely stone-walled, and you should be throwing a reactive ball. But, I mean, this is one of the few occasions where I can't even really defend it at home, you guys. Because when we were on the practice pairs, some of those lanes there's a little more hook down there. And once you get in that right spot to the right, I mean, it's really easy to control the pocket for pretty much everybody. I don't really see the urethane thing myself. I mean, I guess the lefties are so used to doing it that's just what they do. But I think that they probably could have been just as dangerous with reactive.
Yeah.
I think when they throw urethane, it makes it come across as it's almost like it makes it like it's almost like there's more lefties in the squad, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it causes so much faster transition.
Yeah.
big shot here.
Looks
Get
like a
out to
pretty
an
good
early
one.
lead.
Yeah, B-Rob's come out firing. He's actually, I didn't see him use that ball. He's changed to a Zen. This lane's obviously broken down a bit more because, of course, with his ball in 8-game blocks, all of the lanes had 4 games on them. So this is actually the most lineage there's ever been on a game this week.
Right.
If it was the Masters last week, they'd have
Yeah.
gone to a pair that probably only had 2. It'd have been like ball in game 5.
Correct.
This is actually completely new. Yeah, you got to feel like Spencer really needs to get a double here, or else he's going to be in quite a bit of trouble. Just doesn't want to come off that lane for him, does it?
Yeah, no.
Seems like it's coming up on the other lane.
I mean, what do you do here? Does he slow the ball down a little bit to try to get it around the corner? Or does he move
I
left?
think he needs to get it left faster.
Get it left faster. Yeah.
That would be. I mean, I don't have a huge experience of being a two-handed lefty, but having watched them and the logic of urethane for high rev rate guys, I would think that the only thing that he could do is get it to the spot a little sooner, because I doubt that he's that far right if it's not because the front is broken down a bit for him.
Yeah.
So the only way you can get it to hook more, I don't think Spencer's got in the toolbox of slowing down and rotating it more. And I'm not even really sure that works that well with urethane.
Yeah.
So I think he just needs to get it to the friction a little sooner. See what he's got. Or he just needs to ball on the left lane the whole time.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll change that rule for him, unfortunately.
Well, they might. But to be honest, if B-Rob keeps going at this pace, it isn't really going to matter what.
No,
what he
300's a tough one to beat.
Yeah.
JT, wouldn't that be something if for Mike's over under on came down to that?
His over under on 300s was 0.5, and obviously there was 0 despite the fact that you guys lit him up. So it would be pretty funny if the last possible chance.
Bang. Even though this is kind of screwing me a little bit in the fantasy, how can you not want B-Rob in his optician shirt to not make it? Feels like there should be a story behind it. Oh boy. See what you got, B-Rob.
But I tell you, he didn't look like he had the greatest look in practice on this pair, but it sure looks pretty good now.
Wow. Spencer doesn't have a prayer if that one's striking after the last one when he took straight up the lane.
Well, he's going to need to find a way to strike on this lane to have any chance at this point.
Think?
Yeah. I mean, he's still got 260.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Jason,
that was
uncalled for.
Brian can go stone 8, strike stone 8, and he'd be in the 250s.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But he absolutely needs to figure this one out.
Let's see what he does.
I guess B-Rob's dad's an optometrist.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he just got it further left. I don't necessarily know he got it there. He got it there earlier. I just think he got it further left. And we do have to mention that the fun that we've been having. If you see B-Rob celebrate by going like this, that's because he's the face of the brand.
Yeah, we did mention that on the show the other day.
Yeah.
And he actually did the motion to me and explained what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Face of the brand.
He will really be the face of the brand if he shoots 300 here and not only wins the roll-off, but also breaks Mike Flanagan's black cloud string.
And he also suggests to Spencer that he might want to go back to school.
Well, I'll tell you, I bet you guys want Spencer to work on a PhD at this point.
To be honest, I really don't care. I've got way more issues than getting beat by a two-handed lefty. Like, lefties aren't my problem. It's everybody.
Everybody. Getting beaten by everybody.
I just needed to be beat by 2 less people this week.
Yeah, you made a valiant run there at the end.
Yeah. It's just too little, too late, I believe is the phrase. Jason.
This one here, probably, that's about it, right? Spencer, 239. Brian's already in the 240s. This would put him in the 250s.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
I guess I'm going to have to take a 37 for Spencer.
Yeah.
How's your team going, Aaron?
You know what? When we started today, I was feeling all right. I had my low guy was plus 70, 72, something like that. So I'm like, and then all of a sudden scores went up. So I only got 3 to match play, or 3 to the top 36.
Okay. All right. Well, how far down was your low guy, though?
It was, let's see where it's at after this. I didn't look at, let's see. Actually, they were right next to each other. Sean Maldonado, 61, Dick Allen, 62.
Okay. All right. So boo. You won't get your face on a box like that, B-Rob. Yeah, because I had a very good day. Relative to the fantasy, not really relative to me. I actually started the day and finished the day in the same spot.
Okay. I'll tell you what, Brian misses this year, and it's still not over. Spencer can still shoot 239.
Yeah. He can. I still think it's over. I don't think B-Rob's going to open again.
Didn't you watch the match with Chris Barnes and Mike Haugen?
Fun story about that after we watched Spencer throw this shot.
Okay.
So we're watching the Atlanta Super Bowl. Me, Anthony Lavery, and Barnes all together. We're in Columbus, Ohio. We're in a Pluckers. We're having fun, whatever. Barnes is being obnoxious Peyton Manning fan, loving the fact that the Patriots are getting smashed. So we get late on, and the Patriots start coming back. And once they get the ball going up the thing, I say to him, man, if they get this is going to be the biggest comeback since you screwed up the TOC.
Oh, boy. I think it was, too. I think the odds were about the same of the Patriots pulling that one off. Well, this one's got to have it.
Yep. That's all she wrote, folks.
Yep.
So yeah, that was my story of watching the Super Bowl. I went, man, nobody's choked anything off this bad since you. And that was me giving Chris, and Chris would give us the business for about 2 hours. And he basically, because he's a good guy, sat there and took it because there wasn't really anything he could do.
No, you can't. No. So. Well, Brian Robinson's going to advance.
Yes, sir.
What are you looking ahead to tomorrow? What do you think the key is going to be to keep going on in this tournament?
Well, if the first 3 patterns have been any indication, the guys are going to stand in the same place because nobody's moved their feet yet for the start of the blocks. That's been the best part. That's been, they might have moved a couple right, a couple left, but it's been a kind of odd US Open, really.
Yeah,
We don't
absolutely.
like when Nick designs the patterns, usually he makes us play in different parts of the lane, and he really hasn't this one. It's just been the same.
Yeah.
Like the only thing you've changed is the balls. You certainly haven't changed your angles.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be more of the same. I mean, I think that a lot of that's dictated by the lack of lineage. And I kind of thought that they might have been a little bit more adventurous with, one pattern being 15 mils of oil or something crazy like that, because we had so few games. But no. I see my boy Barnes is fighting back in the chat. He's going into the archives there.
Yeah.
B.B. Atkinson.
There's the handshake, Spencer and Brian Robinson. This one's decided, and Brian Robinson's going to move on. What a couple of weeks for Spencer Robars, though.
But as with Bolin, he made the same as the guy who came 108th.
Yeah, no, I know. But at least he got to be on Bowl TV for one extra game.
Well, with that.
So did you. So did you, Stu.
Oh, yeah, this is the highlight of my week. I got to be on Bowl TV.
Yeah, you're always finding a way to milk the spotlight.
So, Jim Thomas says, what are your thoughts on the 40 whatever foot pattern 4? You said Jacob was going to run and hide, but now he's bringing some of his mates with him, being 1, 2, 3, and 5. Yeah, like I put on my video, when Oscar threw the backup ball, when in Reno. So yeah, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. The left-hand side historically has been great here for this whole trip. It's been pretty good. We'll see what the righties have got, see if they can figure something out, and go from there. But as a right-hander, I wouldn't be feeling particularly like I had a huge. If you're not really close right now, I think it's going to take somebody like Barnes, somebody maybe like Frankie, people who are really can find that slot to the right and like be able to stay on top of it, almost like a lefty's going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, the only good part for the righties, I think, is that we've got the situation where you're only bowling half as many games. And I think that's what's really brought the scores up today, because the righties have actually scored like lefties today.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have that breakdown. It hasn't really caused you too much issue. So, yeah.
Do you think with urethane on the left, things could get a little squirrely for the lefties with that many being in the finals? Assuming, we still have that many make the finals. So we still have another cut after the 8 games tomorrow. But do you think maybe righties throwing reactive, lefties throwing urethane, it could balance things out a bit?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it really depends on how it factors in with like the whole, because you got to think that the worst case scenario for the first 4 games is there's going to be 2 lefties have bowled on the lane you go to. That's the absolute worst case scenario, because there can only be 1 game bowled on that pair. Yeah. So, I mean, there's so many. That's what I'm saying about the patterns and how they didn't really. I felt like if they could have gone with much lower volume patterns, you might have seen some kind of entertaining stuff, because it was such a different vibe with us bowling so many less games. But the pattern was just basically the same as if we were bowling, 8 games. But we weren't really, were we? In terms of breakdown.
Well, I was entertained today, Aaron Smith. This guy entertained me. I hope you guys were entertained tonight watching the roll-off. I mean, what an amazing finish. Stu had a chance. He's going to get to watch his buddy Chris Barnes bowl tomorrow. What do you feel about Chris Barnes?
I'm not allowed in.
There he is.
You want to come in?
B-Rob.
Come on in, Brian.
Come on.
Go grab a mic over there. We want to get your thoughts.
Does he need to put the headset on?
Yeah, put the headset on. There you go.
All right, let's bring him in. Fresh off a 241-206 victory, Brian Robinson. Congratulations.
Thank you. I didn't even know. I had to, the last two games, I was out. I had to shoot 240 just to get into the roll off. And I was just struggling all day. And I just had to really dig deep to win that match and to get into the roll off. So,
yeah, Stu said you had just this crazy roller coaster of emotions that last game, thinking you were in, thinking you were out, and then realizing it was a roll off. How did you gather yourself and bowl a great game there to move on?
Well, I just told myself, I bowled a great last game to give myself a chance, and to just told myself, you know what, just got to keep going and just kind of bear down and just really just stay as focused as I can. And that pair was hooking a lot more than the pair I just came off of. It was I was just trying everything, and finally I went to the Zen and kind of really just saw the picture of the lane a little differently, and was able to kind of find something there towards the end of practice, because I was pretty much lost for about 7.5 minutes. I had nothing, and then all of a sudden I went to the Zen and kind of made a little zone change in hand position, and then all of a sudden it kind of opened the lane up, and Spencer bowled great. I was just
bowled better.
Yeah, that's all there is to it. Yeah. Yeah.
So did you as she shook his hand, did you say back to school with you?
I did not do that. I just told him I said great bowling, and I think he's going to be he's a special kid. He's a really good bowler at his age, and I told him, I said, you're gonna go far, and you're gonna bowl great. And he's a class act.
Man, that would have been the time to assert your dominance there, B. Rob.
I know. The face of the brand. The face of the brand.
There it is.
Face of the brand. But no, I could have told him, I said, well, you couldn't beat either Thomas or I, so the roommates are 2-0 against him.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Now we're talking smack.
Yeah.
That's what we need to bring to Bowl TV. I mean, I do feel like what gave you the confidence was seeing how unfortunate I was in that 9th frame. You were thanking your lucky stars I didn't have that front 12. I mean, after that happened, you just knew it was fate. I mean, you were like, man, if Williams can't get that hit, man, jeez.
Well, I knew it was close. I mean, honestly, I just kind of, the last 2 games, I just told myself to get in the zone and just make the best shots I can. I felt like I was fighting it all day, and I said, you know what, this is the time to just dig in and just really get in the zone. And that's what the last 3 games, that was one of the best comebacks for me in a long time, to really just dig in and really, I could have let it get away from me, but I didn't. Now I have a chance to, bowl some more and maybe sneak into match play. So
no, absolutely. No, you bowled a great last, all joking aside, you bowled a great last game. You 240. The one in the 10th, it looked like it peeled off it a little bit. I think you probably got it a little in.
Yeah,
you were begging early on, but you got the 4-pin, and then I know that you knew that AJ was 250. Yeah. I think we all kind of wanted to get. I was kind of aiming at that 258 number, but that was our fallback 250, and you threw a great shot on the fill to get to 251. It was very impressive. At any point, have you thought about the fact that AJ Chapman at 250 had a frame where he had 2 pins total?
Well, I haven't thought about that, but that's I guess I'll be nice this time. It's just I'm just happy I was able to bowl well, but I'll thank AJ later. I'll buy him a beer or something. Let him know that I'm appreciative of the 2-0.
Everybody on his pair should have bought him a beer for going back through the gap.
I'm gonna buy him. Yeah. I'm gonna buy him more than one.
That's impressive. I don't know how he did that. I still don't know how he did that. Obviously when you're practicing or just joking around, it's fun to do that. But in competition, that's
it's just amazing that we bowled 240.
We could give him 1,000 shots and he wouldn't do that again.
Yeah, but we bowled 240 frames. AJ missed by 1 pin, and in one of those 240 frames, he had 2-0.
No, it's
and if he'd have just clipped the 3-pin. He would have got 5.
I know.
It's just amazing.
Brian, last year, Perry made, or last U.S. Open, it was last year. He won this roll off and ended up parlaying it into a TV appearance. You've had a great couple of weeks here. How you feeling going into tomorrow? Do you think you can make a run and get on the show?
Yeah, I think someone told me it's only 30 pins out for the top 24. So, that's a lot of time to make up. With 8 games, that's a lot. That's not much pins to make up, and that with all those games to bowl. And I feel good about my game. I bowled good at the Masters. Felt like, I got a little unlucky in a couple of the matches I bowled, and I just feel like I'm going to really take advantage of this. It's like new life. How could you not feel like, man, you've got nothing to lose at this point? You just got to go for it and give it all you got. So
yeah. And there's pins crashing in the background, and as if you guys haven't done enough bowling already, there is a practice session right now for pattern 4. So I'm sure you want to go check that out, right?
Lanes there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna get down there and bowl. I needed to actually calm down just a little bit because I couldn't even think what I was supposed to do towards the end. I was just like. I'm just happy to have made it, man. It's I'm tired. My brain's fried now. So
well, congratulations.
Right, well,
good luck the rest of the way.
Jason.
If you have one more question, Stu?
No, I was just saying good luck to Brian.
Okay, yeah, we all wish you the best of luck, and good luck out there tomorrow, and hopefully you do parlay it into a show just like Perry did last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, why not? No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in another roll off tomorrow for the round of 24, and then I'm getting a roll off for the step ladder.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to do it.
And then we'll send you an invoice for all the overtime we've got to work.
I was about to say, his best friend here.
I'll be willing to pay for it all. That's fine.
He's the face of the brand. Come on.
That's the face of the brand. That's right. Everybody, I'm going to be circling my face a lot, so you'll understand what it means. So.
All right, Brian. We'll great bowling today, and good luck tomorrow.
Well, thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, there he was, Brian Robinson, joining us fresh off the victory. Craziness all day today, JT.
Wow. Yes, it was. We came out today. We saw some stuff that we didn't expect to see. Chris Barnes made a huge run. Not that we didn't expect to see that.
I was about to say, come on, PB Atkinson.
Yeah, I did expect to see Chris Barnes make a big run. He was my guy. I picked him for my team. But no, it was nice to see him get the day started off with a big bang, and then we had a Jacob Buttriff just come in and run him over and push the lead out. We watched Chris Prather bowl quite a bit today, and he thought he would come up short. We didn't believe him, but he was out there, so he knew better than us. And boy, they just lit him up tonight. Stu made a run, almost got there. A bunch of players just Sam Cooley shot 1,100 for 4. Good Lord, I'm pretty sure nobody's ever shot 1,100 for 4 at the U.S. Open. So we saw stuff we've never seen at the U.S. Open here today, and really part 2 of the tournament's just going to get underway tomorrow.
Just quickly looking at the guys, I can tell you now that nobody's shooting 1,100 tomorrow. The speed bump is quite obviously there.
It's quite bumpy.
You can see it down the lane. Like, people are throwing shots and they get it left and it really hooks. And then they try to, get their speed up and keep it in front of them. And it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be low scoring, but it's not going to be it's going to be nothing like today. I'm going to be the old fart and say that pattern had nothing to do with the US Open. And it just didn't make sense it being there, but whatever, Chris Barnes is quite happy it was there.
Lucas Wiseman saying he's looking forward to tonight's practice podcast. Well, unfortunately, we're going to disappoint Lucas because we're going to be signing off. But Aaron, what have we got for tomorrow?
Tomorrow we'll have the top 36 returning to the lanes for 8 more games. That'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern right here on Bowl TV. We'll cut to the top 24, and then round-robin match play will kick off tomorrow night, Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern right here on Bowl TV. So just a big thanks to everyone for joining us today. For the Bowl TV staff, Mike Flanagan, Matt Canzaro, Jason Thomas, Stu Williams joining us as well. We appreciate it, Stu. Look forward to seeing the final results of our friendly fantasy draft coming up in the next few days, see where that ends up. So good luck to everyone involved with that, of course. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and sign off. Crazy day. It's done. But thanks again, everyone, for joining us here on Bowl TV. And remember, folks, on Bowl TV, bowling lives here. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. Top 36.